Hey, Prime members, you can listen to Crime and Sports early and ad-free on Amazon Music. Download the app today.
In the depths of an Atlanta forest, a clash between activists and authorities ends in tragedy. I'm Matthew Scher, and on my new podcast, We Came to the Forest, we expose the hidden truths behind a shootout that left one activist dead and countless lives forever changed. Binge all episodes of We Came to the Forest ad-free on Wondery Plus.
Hello, and welcome to Crime and Sports.
Yay!
Oh, yay indeed, Jimmy. Yay indeed. My name is James Petrogallo. I'm here with my co-host.
I'm Jimmy Westman.
Thank you, folks, so much for joining us again and again and again on another insanely, and this one especially insane, crazy, wild, death-defying, gravity, just ignoring gravity and all the laws of physics, Crime and Sports episode. Thank you, folks, for being here again.
It's always death-defying.
It's death-defying every week. Sometimes it's not death. If they die, I won't say death-defying. Okay. That's usually the way I do it because they didn't defy shit. They
defy it for a while.
For a little while, but in the end.
Not like Michael Jordan. Like he defies gravity for a minute.
And for a second, and then it's going to come down. Well, this is, tonight we dip back into the brain damage sports, which are always fun. Yeah. We're going into, it's an MMA fighter.
Wonderful.
So that's always fun. As I always like to say, the UFC is like alcohol. Yeah. It doesn't make assholes, but it certainly enhances them. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to dip into there.
Not every asshole.
They don't make them, but it's, man, you got a little bit of UFC in an asshole. Boy, it's going to bring them out, is all I'm going to say.
Not every alcohol consumer is an asshole, but every asshole consumes alcohol.
It's one of those things. So that's what I'm saying, you know? So before we get into that, thank you so much for your iTunes reviews this week. Yeah. They're always huge. Mm-hmm. They drive us up the charts. It's iTunes' funky algorithm. Right. It's not our fault. Right. So if you haven't done it yet, please get on iTunes. Give us 5 stars. Doesn't matter what you say. It's not for our egos. Right. Strictly for business. Tell them you're following instructions, following directions.
You know how much James hates himself?
It doesn't matter.
A lot. About words.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. You can't fix what I have.
Your words can't change
You can't fix us. So you just say you're following directions, and that's as good as praise. Trust me.
We're both divorced, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, we've been life is shit on our heads for a while, and we're right now it's okay, and we're trying. Yeah. So, but your words can't fix.
If words could fix this shit, we'd still be married.
Oh, god damn! Well, for the first time, I'm still married this time, which is good. I don't think that's going to work out well. I think, but the other one was bad. Yeah, other one not good.
That's because this time you're marrying without words. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah,
you're marrying for the salty words this time.
Yeah, exactly. It's good. It's better that way.
That's the way to do it.
And if you want to be a superstar, awesome, favorite, best friend of the show, just a person we want to hug, and one of our producers, you can do that. Long list of these people we're going to read off at the end of the show that we're always excited to talk about. They're the best. You can do that very easily by going to patreon.com/crimeinsports, or you can go over to PayPal, use our email address, crimeinsports@gmail.com. Yes. Please do that.
Also, don't go to Patreon and search Crime and Sports, because those bastards somehow don't want our people to give a shit.
Patreon.com/crimeinsports. For some reason, otherwise it's a weird thing. Doesn't matter. Works. Do that. Every dime's super. It's just as more appreciated than we can express to you. But we try, but we're not good at that. Right. We're not good at expressing emotions. But thank you
guys.
Yeah, thank you so much. We're in a studio because of you guys. Yeah. So thank you. We can't thank you enough for that. And every dime does count, and we appreciate it. But never mind all of that. Yeah. Oh, by the way, shutupandgivememurder.com.
Yes.
If you want Crime and Sports merchandise, cups, mugs, shirts, all that stuff, tour information, which is coming up, and a bunch of absolutely terrifying venues.
Holy shit.
That's going to be crazy. Well, never mind. Well, you'll see. Once you see it, you're going to go, good Lord, guys.
You really think highly of yourselves.
Yeah. No, we don't. We have nothing to do with booking anything. So this is based on other people's opinions.
Somebody thinks highly of us, and James and I look at each other and go, are they fucking kidding?
They're not serious, right? Yeah. So we'll figure all that out.
You're in fucking overalls?
This guy wearing overalls in court? I think he is. I think he fucking is. We're talking about a guy today who mentally wears overalls in court. Right. Physically, he's not wearing overalls. Yeah. He's a real kind of a pretty boy. Don't call him that though, or he will punch you.
I'm sure.
We found out before, but different kind of a thing here. Brain damage sports. Let's talk about him. It's Joshua Richard Grispi. Do you know who that is? No. Josh Grispi is a UFC fighter. Josh the Fluke Grispi is his nickname, which that doesn't seem like a good nickname.
He doesn't like himself either.
Yeah, I don't. I feel like
all this success is bullshit.
So they're going to find me out soon, so I'll just call myself the Fluke. They're going to all know anyway.
Right out of the gate, I'll let them know.
If he's like a comic that's like paranoid. I opened for this one comic very, very quickly one time. He was a very, very experienced, very good comic who crushes every time he goes out. He's not amazingly famous, but he's been around forever and absolutely destroys. And he wouldn't come out like he was like hanging out in the green room bathroom going, I can't do this before he could. I was hosting. It was like my second time hosting at the club. I've been doing comedy like 2 years. I'm like, I don't know what to do.
You're like, Kevin Hart, come on
I'm
out,
like, well, definitely wasn't Kevin Hart. But I'm like, I think you have to. That's what I said to him. Like, I think you have to.
I think contractually you have to.
I don't think I can do it.
I think you're obligated.
I don't think I'm going to go do shit for an hour.
Your name's on the marquee, man.
Yeah, nothing to do with me anyway. So, this guy here, born October 14th, 1988. So he's a young guy.
Dude.
Yeah, very young guy. He's had a lot of life experience in such a short time.
He's barely 30.
He's going to be very much disliked. Okay. We'll put it that way. He's not even 30, but he's going to be. This is going to be one of those episodes where he's going to rank in the Buck Zumhoff.
No,
but there's no like child molestation or anything like that. But in as far as hateability, he's going to be up in that kind of echelon, which is it's impressive here. He's a Massachusetts guy.
Yeah, of course he is.
He's born in Boston.
Yeah, of course he was.
Yeah, it's funny too because we have a lot of friends in Massachusetts and all that. But you have a certain type of meathead there who just loves to fight and
how hilarious!
I don't know what it is. I do know what it is because there's the same type of meathead in New York, so I do know that guy. He's just more Irish in Boston,
a little chubbier and
less
drinks
Italian,
a little more beer,
a little less sneaky.
Right.
That's what it is.
Yeah, he does all his dirt up front.
That's the thing. Just Italians will plot behind your back, whereas the Irish are too drunk to plot. They're just like, let's go outside. Come on,
him in the face.
Come on, Tommy, let's go outside. We're going outside. I don't give a fuck,
It's
Tommy.
funny how, my opinion of people in Boston is very heavily weighted on my hate for Tom Brady. And
That's
the dude's
true.
not even from there.
No, he's not from there. He went to Michigan.
Right.
He has no...
And Gronkowski went to U of A.
And my only Boston experience is going there to perform, and everyone was wonderful.
They were amazing.
One of the best crowds we've ever been in front of, so... And they were all nice to us, so this is really we're just assholes is what it is. So let's continue to do that. Yeah. He grows up to be 5'11", 145 pounds, so that's his weight class. Kind of an exciting weight class in MMA fighting,
because if
like
he
boxing.
wins, it's fucking amazing because he's little.
Yeah, he's little. He was fighting guys his own size. It's not like back in the day when you had some of these, when we were talking about like in the 90s, these UFC fights and MMA fights that were, guys completely 175 unfair. Pounds, guys 350s fight, and you're like, that's a weird matchup.
And the little guy only won like twice. It was fucking amazing when he won. But when he didn't, you're like, that's how that should go.
Yeah, it wasn't like a skilled battle of skilled combatants. No. It was like a spectacle. Like, let's watch a lion fight a warthog and see what happens. Like, it was just a weird...
And from time to time, that warthog grabs a hold of that lion's spleen and shit goes awry.
He latches onto his nutsack, we're going to have a problem. He could fucking pull one off. You never know.
1 in 1,000, it happens.
I'm just assuming, but I don't know anything about zoology or anything like that, but I assume that even the most vicious lion, if you really socked him in the nutsack a good shot, I bet you he'd fucking chill out for a second and at least back off.
Is that the shark snout thing?
I think that's what it is. I honestly think so. Well, I don't know if it's true, but that's my approach. If I'm ever attacked by a lion, I'm going right after his ball bag because I assume he's going after mine. So let's be fair, motherfucker.
I'll take that advice because it's better than the shark advice. How are you going to punch underwater?
It's the Robert Schimmel joke.
So dumb.
Like, you
ever thrown a punch underwater?
It's very slow. And the shark's a lot faster underwater. That's the thing. He flies in and you're like, oh, it's not going to be a good... And then you're going to slowly connect against him, and he's going to eat your hand as it goes toward him because he's going to see it coming. It's basically going to look like a mother's taking a spoonful of food and to bring it in a baby's mouth and going, here it comes.
Here comes the train.
Here comes the fist, and it's going to bite it, latch onto it, and drag you around like a fucking rag doll.
You're about to lose an arm.
Perfect. Sounds great. So, Grispi played a lot of hockey when he was growing up. He was kicked out of school a lot. This is a thing that we've come across with a bunch of these MMA fighters. They're like hyperactive, not okay in school, because they have to like keep moving and hit things and have physical activity.
Already have brain issues.
That's the other thing too. Is between the hockey and the fighting, this guy here.
Oh my god, it's hockey too.
The brain damage here at a young age even is got to be reminded. When you hear some of his actions, you're like, okay, that is definitely not a sane person that did that, or at least a person who's doesn't have a touch of the pudding brain, just a touch. If we
had a kid in my school that did the same shit, always acted out in class, Golden Gloves boxer.
That's sometimes it's just because that's not the structure that they can thrive in. They have too much energy, or I understand that. That's
also there's probably
I get it.
Quite a few brain cells that are are dark.
Yeah. There's certain people you can't expect to fit into every environment. You know, that's what I don't get. Like you can't take people who are. That's what I don't get about like NFL players. Like they jack them all up, and they're supposed to. Have you ever watched like the NFL training camp, the Hard Knocks thing, or anything like that? Watch what they'd have them in practice. They're they have them drooling and fucking like animals, and now they're like, now go out there and be nice to your wives, and they just release them out into the streets.
And then they're like, now we booked you on Jimmy Kimmel. Go have a conversation with. Did you watch that this week?
It's
Antonio
insane.
Brown tried to have a conversation with Jimmy Kimmel. I was blown away by the lack of ability to speak by that guy.
In season, I have a proposal. In season, we keep NFL players in some sort of pressurized bubble. Okay. After the season, it's like if they went deep in the sea, they have to do like a depressurization session for like 2 weeks before they're released back into the public, before they can like act normal and not beat their children.
Handle normal oxygen.
Yeah, I really feel like that. And it's sad because a lot of the guys are very normal and can differentiate because they're intelligent people whose brains haven't been mashed into pudding yet. But some of them,
they're a kicker.
But some of them, it's like, I'm sorry, you got to take one for that guy because he's dangerous, and we can't have that fucking guy coming straight out of practice, going home and beating the piss out of his girlfriend and kicking the door down and. Jesus
it's like
Christ.
Unleashing a dude that's been in solitaire for 18 years back into society.
And I think for UFC and boxing, they should just be put in a chamber from like 16 to about 42. 50 in Evander Holyfield's case, but either way. And then they let him out when you're done.
I just compared a fucking professional athlete to a criminal of 18 years.
Well, that's fair. I mean, how many? We're on episode 125, Jimmy. What are we talking about here? What are we... I mean, come on. Let's be honest. There's been some bad shit that's happened.
I'm not far off, I guess.
No, it's honestly not. I mean, fuck. We're going to defend these people, these athletes of all kinds and stripes and sports. I mean, we're fair. We rip apart darts players for Christ's sake. We don't give a fuck.
I don't care how much sweat you break when you play this sport. Quote unquote.
And people will ask us too, like, will you do this sport? Sure. Don't give a shit. Limited amount of criminal athletes. We'll do whatever the fuck you can find.
Is there a murdering cornhole player? I'm in.
Great. Awesome. We did darts. That's all I have to say. Checkers, beautiful. Is he really good? Is he good in the park? Is he playing like 5 games at a time?
Bobby Fischer ever fucking rape a woman? I'll cover it.
I'll cover the shit out of that. Let's talk about it. I'll talk about that to the end of time. To the end of time. So he was kicked out of a bunch of schools. He was even kicked out of apparently banned from a paintball facility.
Oh boy!
How much can you be acting up in a paintball facility?
People in the face.
You'd have to. Yeah, it's literally a facility where people pay money to be shot with paint. There's not a lot you can really do. That's
unless you freeze your paintballs the night before.
Well, you never know. That's a true thing. But
you could be shooting fucking marbles at people.
That's Christ. I wouldn't put it past this asshole. But this was all before he was 13. He'd been in a bunch of schools, been kicked out, banned from he's the local cut up. He's a kid like, oh, for Christ's sake, this fucking asshole
13
again.
years old. He's not allowed to play paintball.
No, he's not allowed in the facility. Just gone, or many different schools. He's the type of kid who was 13 and was already in like vocational school, and you're like, I don't think he knows whether he wants to weld or not yet. I don't think he's figured that out. He's 13. He still believes in the Easter Bunny, and he's got a career path chosen for him.
Paul Calhoun figuring out shit pipes.
Let me tell you about some shit pipes, kid. Hey, let me tell you, there's a very important thing when you're changing out a shit pipe. Now, the guy's wife's inevitably going to come around. Give it a back of your hand. You're going to have to smack his wife. That's in the theme song right there. So you don't smack it and everything's going to be wrong.
Why do I need a paintbrush? What's the paintbrush about? What do I'll show you later, kid.
Come on, kid. He puts his arm around him. You got a lot to learn. And he takes him, walk into the sunset.
Yeah, opening scene of fucking Andy Griffith.
He goes, you want to hold your hand open and firm. That's what it is. It's deranged Andy Griffith.
Backhand, backhand.
Yeah, see how it goes? Pap, pap, pap. Keep it straight, but you got to understand. People try to move around, so you got to be flexible.
Sometimes you got to elevate that hand.
That's what I'm talking about right there. So finally, when he's 13 years old, his dad doesn't know what else to do with him. Yeah. This is kind of funny because this is like how like my son is sometimes, where I'm like, he needs something to get his fucking energy out.
Right.
Something he needs. I don't know what to do with him. We're talking about possibly. Who the hell knows?
Track and field.
Run that way.
Right.
Go. See that? We get cross country like Travolta in Greece. Yeah. Long distance running. Just like go that way and come back soon.
I got a friend. My kid's in swimming. One of the dads told me that his 13-year-old ran 15 fucking miles this morning.
Christ.
And I was like,
that's insanity.
What the fuck do you do with that kid
that's
to
insanity.
get him to run that?
That's insanity.
15 miles.
He had to build up to that. He didn't just say, we're going to start running today, kid, and he put him out for 15 miles. Yeah. What do you say? We start out at 15, and then we're going to go to a full marathon by next Monday.
Calm down. It's not even a marathon. You'll be all right.
Let's go. It's more than a half marathon, but still.
It's a fucking lot of miles.
That is.
I drove 15 to get to your house, and I was exhausted.
Yeah, you're like, Jesus Christ, to go through lights. If you ran this would never be recorded. It'd be out next week.
Had to shit the whole time.
2 weeks from now. What else is new? That means Jimmy's alive. Some people play if he's talking, he's lying. Like if Jimmy's breathing, he's shitting. I'll tell you that right now. Or he has to shit, or he's plotting out his next shit. He's very close to it. Jimmy goes around with just a roll of Charmin under his arm, which people find a little off-putting, but then after a while, they get used to it, and they don't even notice it. They're like, he's a nice guy.
As much as I shit, I don't know how I haven't thought of your idea of every hotel you go to, you bring your own toilet paper.
Oh,
how have I not thought of that?
Always bring your own toilet paper.
Anytime I go to a hotel, I'm like, great, now I'm going to have to wipe my ass with horrible toilet paper.
It's terrible.
I don't even...
One roll of Charmin, a good one. You put it in your bag, you bring it, you're fucking in heaven the whole trip.
I can't wait for this new tour.
And it's so messed up, too, because it doesn't matter how nice of a hotel you're in. Like, we were in Boston. The club put us up in a really nice, beautiful hotel. Yeah. It was like, we didn't pay for it. It was hundreds of dollars a night. One ply, terrible shit gas station, ghetto gas station fucking toilet paper. If you go to a Chevron in the worst neighborhood in your city, you'll have the exact same toilet paper as in this beautiful hotel.
May as well just shower.
Egyptian thread, 2,000 thread count Egyptian cotton sheets and one ply Chevron ghetto bathroom toilet paper. Here you go, fuckhead. What is going on in this world?
We spared our expense at your ass wipe.
Concentrate on the important things. Fucking assholes.
You're going to need those Egyptian cotton sheets because your asshole's going to be raw.
It's going to be destroyed.
Jam the sheets in there.
Well, that or your hand's going to be disgusting because those things are like nothing. Well, if I get 46 ply up at once, and nope, that's equal to nothing. It's that shit. It's the same shit that like bookies had, where if you throw it in the water, it dissolves.
Right, that's what it's
rice
about.
Paper.
Yeah,
it's
that's
terrible.
What the stuff is about. They just want it to fucking go away.
So from shitting back to this guy's shit life.
Okay.
Let's get into this here. Let's do it in their own words, nice and early like this, and let him kind of try to explain himself and how he started out. He says, in their own words, quote, "My father brought me to this gym when I was 13. I needed an outlet. I used to play hockey and everything, and that was a lot of fun, and I was really, really good at that too. I got into doing jujitsu and stuff like that, and I took to it really quick, and it kind of chose me in that aspect of it. Before I knew, I was 17 and I had my first fight. Time had just flown by."
That's terrifying, by the way. A jiu-jitsu fighter is playing hockey?
Yeah, that's where he started. He quit hockey to play jiu-jitsu.
All right,
good. Yeah, you don't want a guy start choking a dude out on the ice. That's not part of the...
As a father,
that's not fair.
You get your 15-year-old into hockey, and you're like, you're going to love it, kid. And then this kid comes at him with the blade end of his fucking shoe.
He's doing some guillotine choke on him and shit, and you're like, I don't think that's wow.
That's not how this fight's supposed to go.
Didn't even pull his jersey over his head first. This is fucked up. I don't know what happened.
How do you get a fucking hockey player in a triangle? What is this?
So this is a guy who gets into something and he's into it.
Yeah.
That's it. And it's not just MMA. I mean, MMA gets into it 13, leaves hockey behind, doesn't give a shit about that, doesn't care about anything but MMA. From 13 to 17, nothing but train. Yeah. Also at 13, he meets a girl. At 13, he meets another 13-year-old, obviously.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, she wasn't like 26 or anything, which that would make this a very different story. Or 7. Again, very different story. That would be like, I don't think that's okay, but doesn't seem like it's
not
so
illegal.
It's so weird. I know they haven't made a law for it yet, but it's odd. But
it's not a problem yet.
Yeah, if it was
it's a problem morally for me.
If it was like his, one of his 6th grade teachers, that would be something that we would be talking about. But it wasn't. He meets a woman named Caitlin. Well, not a woman. She's a child at this point. He meets an 8th grader named Caitlin at this point in time, which is exactly what she was, a future freshman named Caitlin, and
who's new to the feminine napkin lifestyle.
She's
brand new to it.
Brand new, and he's new to MMA fighting, and they bring these two new interests together. You know how it is. She's hoping one of the M's in MMA stands for menstruation. You know how it goes, and they're just going to have a good old time together. Who the fuck knows what it is?
My boyfriend fights menzies.
He fights, the menzie arts. You know how it is. Yeah, it's all good.
Good
so he meets her, so he sticks with MMA, and he sticks with Caitlin from 13 on, which is crazy to choose anything that you're going to do later when you're 13. Anything. Your career, your wife, your spouse,
anything
your partner,
that's a major
anything.
play in your life.
Anything that's going to be an everyday part of your life at 25, 13 should have nothing to do with that. You should have wiped all that clean. Right. You should have come out of your depressurization chamber and left all that in the ocean
all your
behind
Ninja
you.
Turtles behind you.
Floating behind you in the ocean as you sit like an adult.
Should
there.
All be sadness.
Yeah. So he fights at South Shore Sport Fighting is the name of it. He started fighting kind of little amateur things in New Hampshire and Massachusetts. Yeah. He was always kind of the youngest guy there. He was the youngest guy they trained here, and he was in these tournaments. He was always the youngest guy there. Okay. Like he would young and small and skinny, and he was always, but he's very, very spunky. He's got a temper. He's got a real spark to him. He'll tell Tommy to come outside with him. I'll tell you that right now, you bastard. I saw you look at it. I saw you son of a bitch.
Here you go.
So, that's it. So he's got that sort of thing. So he ends up training under this Mahoney and Lockhart, these two guys at the South Shore MMA. It's weird because they said this was their youngest person. They had all adults they were training, and they said that they wanted him to really concentrate on something in particular in the fight style.
Gotcha.
Mahoney here says, quote, "My partner Scotty says this all the time. This kid's potential is a million times what he has. He was our first ever child student. Him and his brother showed up at the same day, and we had no kids at the time. I went, all right, I'm going to train this kid to be an MMA fighter. I'm not going to train him in jujitsu, in just jujitsu or boxing." He said right from the beginning he was so little we wouldn't do a lot of striking, but he just hit the mitts like crazy. He would spar grappling and striking, and while I'd spar just grappling. I think he was already fighting when he asked what jiu-jitsu was. His first art was MMA. So he didn't start in a discipline. Right. He started training for MMA.
Pinball.
Yeah, that's the difference. The guys now that are fighting in UFC, most of them started fighting MMA. That's where they started training, whereas it used to be, MMA in the 90s was a guy who's a boxer and a guy who's a wrestler. Right. It was guys from different disciplines.
We're going to mix these two guys together.
That's what it was.
That this guy fights so many other things.
Yeah, right. Now you might have a guy who's a better striker or a better grappler, but they're not like, this guy's just a puncher and he's an ex-boxer. They don't have that as much anymore. That are the big-time guys start doing this at a young age here. So at 17, he was September 23rd, 2006. He's going to be 18 in a month, but he's ready to fight, though. He's ready to rock and roll. This is
fucker his parents.
This standing off to the side going, at least he's not getting kicked out of anything.
Yeah, that's true.
They haven't. He's been here 4 years. He got kicked out of every school we put him in. He's been here 4 years, and they never sent him home with a note fucking pinned to his forehead saying, we can't handle this fucking asshole anymore. So whatever. He's out of our hands now. If they make him a vegetable, we don't have to deal with him.
He's not Paddington Bear. He's being included.
Not Paddington Bear. That's awesome. So this is September 23rd, 2006. It's Reality Fighting Invasion.
Got it.
Not Reality Fighting Invasion. Reality Fighting Invasion.
Right.
Which all of these fucking cards. I love the card names of all
They're
of these
fucking
things.
ridiculous. Whoever comes up with them clearly has brain damage.
They do. Yeah. They think, is that going to make you come?
No.
Like, you weren't going to buy this on TV or buy a ticket to see it, but now
it's the invasion, James.
You're like, Reality Fighting Invasion? What is this now? Let me look into this further. Hold on a second. Where can I get tickets? No, that doesn't do anything. Just
say there's fucking blood.
Yeah. Got men fighting.
Right.
There you go.
Menzies.
We get Menzies, as we like to call it. MMA. The Menzies. Martial arts.
Menzies martial arts.
Menzies martial arts. I like that.
That's
Martial
better.
Menzies arts.
That's better.
That's
much better.
I think it's much better. Mixed. What is that?
Menzies. We're still calling it MMA, so nobody will even know.
Everybody wins. Yay. Woohoo. Look at that. We've done good, Jimmy.
Yeah,
it's more inclusive, too. I feel like women would be more prone to watch it.
Yeah,
They'd be like, what is this about? And by the time they realize it had nothing to do with that,
feminist.
They'd be into it then. They'd already be into the storylines because it is wrestling, as we know. So now they have all that, and there it is. So this is at the Verizon Wireless Arena in Manchester, New Hampshire.
Jesus.
So I don't think it's a very big wireless. No? It's probably where the college plays.
It's sponsored by Verizon, though. It's over 3,000, right?
Yeah, but there's not New Hampshire's. There's no big cities in New Hampshire. There's no population centers. I assume it's a college stadium, but it doesn't fucking matter. He fights Nick Zimmerman here. That kid's familiar,
though.
You've never heard of this guy. He has a 1-7 career record.
Maybe I don't know.
I don't think you know. Probably not.
No.
He comes
1-7.
1-7. So he was gone.
Yeah.
And the guys he fought, this is amazing. This guy is one of my favorite MMA fighters of all time. If I have to choose one, I'm going to say Nick Zimmerman because of this. This man has 8 career fights.
Right.
Okay. 8 fucking career fights. His first fight, Josh Spearman, okay? Yeah. Josh Spearman is Josh, quote, Lil, L-I-L, Evil Spearman.
Oh,
Little Evil. He is 5'1" and 125 pounds.
And
Lil Evil, okay?
What was the outcome of this shit?
Keep in mind, he's a 7-21 career fighter. So he's not like a great fighter or anything, okay? This Nick Zimmerman fights him in the first fight of his career, loses to Spearman. Spearman beats this Zimmerman up. Then this Zimmerman wins a fight against a Joe McCragahan, okay? Then he loses the rest of the fights that he fights.
Right.
An Amphone foe. Then he fights Josh Spearman again. Then he fights John LeBlanc. Then he fights Grispi here. Then he fights Josh Spearman again.
Good Christ, he
and then
fought
he fights
the man
another
3
guy.
times?
First of all, out of every fight he's had, only one guy's first name doesn't start with a J, which I find fucking weird as shit. Second of all, out of 8 fights, he fought the same man 3 times and lost every fucking time. Stop fighting Josh. Hi, I'm Josh Spearman. I'd like to tell you all about my new foundation, the Beating the Shit Out of Nick Zimmerman Foundation. I've made it my life's work to pummel him, and you should too. Donate today. Like, what the This guy's just...
How do you go
My career? What do you do for a living? I kick this guy's ass named Nick Zimmerman about 3-4 times a month. I beat the shit out of him. They pay me, and I go home with my wife and kids. What the fuck is happening?
Meanwhile, that guy's won 7 fights. 3 of those fights were against fucking Nick Zimmerman.
Nick Zimmerman. That's what I said, too. He only has 4 at-large wins, non-Zimmerman-related wins.
He has 25 other fights. He only won 3 of them.
But he just owns. He just fucking owns this guy. It's awesome. So Jesus
That's amazing.
Christ. This is awesome. So this is Grispi's first pro fight, and his trainer said this is the first time they ever saw anybody piss him off. Apparently, before the fight, Nick Zimmerman called him a pretty boy.
Oh boy!
And and they said he was ready to kill him. Like
that's
he was
Boston
how
for
fucking
faggot.
That's exactly what that is. He said how fucking dare. He said I wouldn't step outside with Tom. He didn't. He called me a fucking pussy. No one calls me a pussy. I'll
he
tell you
said
that.
I goggle cum and I swallow. That's what he said. No, he called you a pretty boy. No, I know what that means.
I know what the fuck that means. You don't have to tell me nothing.
I got jizz all over my face.
Tommy, give me another beer. Yeah, then we're going outside, but give me a beer first. Let's go. Come on. You need one too. Come on, pal. Let's do this. And then they're friends for some reason afterwards.
He said my butt cheeks are sewed up shut like a fucking envelope from cum. That's what he said.
That's what he said.
No, he said you're a pretty boy. Calm down. This is what he said.
Listen to me. I know what happened. I saw the look on his face.
Said my colon is covered in semen. That's what he said.
That's what he told me. He told me it. He told me that him and the referee were going to spit roast me and I was going to fucking enjoy it. That's what he said. He said they were going to Eiffel Tower me and meet right in the fucking middle.
He said Eiffel Tower. Is that what he said?
He said Eiffel Tower. I heard him. I heard him. You hear him? I heard him. Scotty, you heard him. Scotty, you hear him? I heard him. I'm telling you right now.
Said he wouldn't shake my hand because our hands will stick together from all the semen. That's what
right.
he said.
That's what it is. So that's Boston translation of pretty. Pretty equals all of that.
Unless you're talking about Tom Brady, right?
Unless, that's different.
Right, I get it, because we all have to love him.
And they just go, oh, yeah, he's a handsome man.
He's so handsome.
You don't have to be gay to recognize the handsomeness of Tom Brady. That's all I'm saying. You don't have to be gay.
It's not gay if he comes in my ass. It's not gay.
I'll tell you, it's
at that point.
It's patriotic, damn it. It's patriotic. That's what it is. It's like Lady Liberty sitting right on your face. That's what it's like.
It's respecting Robert Kraft. That's what
Lady
that
Liberty face sitting on me. That's the same exact thing. Exactly the same.
I'm doing it for Robert's dead wife. That's what I'm doing it for.
Oh, man. So all of that taken from the pretty boy comment causes Grispi to actually go crazy here and beat this man with punches, knocks him out in 18 seconds in the first round. So he was like, call me a fucking pretty boy. He went after him like he took him outside. Like there was no strategy in that. He's just like, I'm kicking your ass.
He was knocked out and he's like jerking off on his face.
Oh, you know he did. You know he did. You know he went out, poured sugar in his gas tank. Where's your girlfriend? Where is she? She went and gave her a black eye. That's for calling me pretty. Who's pretty now? Not your girlfriend, I'll tell you that much. Not with a big black eye. She's not. You son of a bitch. So, anyway.
How many shots at Boston can we say?
A lot. It's going to be the whole time. And that's the problem, too. This took place, like we said, in Manchester.
Right. Has nothing to do with Boston.
He's 1-0 anyway. Yeah, that's pretty much
it's a bit of Boston.
That's the news they get anyway. October 14th, though. Oh, boy. 2006. So this is very soon. What was it? September 23rd. Now less than a month later. October 14th is Combat Zone 18, Street Justice 2. You can't have... They all do this. You can't have sequels of sequels. You can't have Combat Zone 18 Street Justice 2. You can't do that. I'm sorry. That's not going to work. You can have Street Justice 2. You can have Combat Zone 18. You can't have them both.
You can't have Fast and the Furious 8, fucking Series 19. What is this?
Then another, subtitle, quote, Tokyo Drift 5. You can't have that. No. That wouldn't be that. It's this subgenre of this particular movie of this thing. It's where Star Wars is going, honestly. Exactly. That's kind of weird. But Street Justice 2, and why not save Street Justice when you're out of combat zones?
Right.
When the combat zones are getting a little old and you're like, we've called the last 35 from combat. How about Street Justice now? Cool, we can use that for 30 fights. Fuck it.
And by the way, Combat Zone Street Justice, that's fucking two different things.
It's different. Is it Street Justice or are we in an organized combat zone? Make your fucking mind up what we're doing here. I agree.
This is what?
Bullshit. It's bullshit is what it is, Jimmy. We both know exactly
Combat Zone fucking jungle rules? What is this?
We know exactly what it is. A load of shit.
Right.
That's right.
It's two dudes fighting and I'm buying a ticket. That's what it is.
I pass on this one. But this is at the Club Lido in Revere, Massachusetts. I'm going over to Revere. Yeah. I'm going to go see Grispi fight. He's fighting in Revere.
How much do we love Paulie? We named a town after
Revere.
him. Right.
That's right. He's fighting Dan Bonnell.
Yeah.
I don't know who he is, but he's going to whoop his ass. I know that.
All right.
He fights Dan Bonnell or Bonnell, who's an 11-10 career fighter.
Mm-hmm.
This is his fourth fight overall. He comes into this fight 1-2. This Bonnell. Grispi wins with a submission, guillotine choke at 27 seconds in round one. So now he's 2-0 and he has 45 total ring seconds.
And it's vicious too.
Yeah, knockout and a quick choke out. So he's doing well. Yeah. Like he has to be feeling good about himself, even though he's only fighting in combat zone.
Right.
It's not UFC, but it's where he is. So I mean, fuck it. October 28th. So that was the 14th. So he fights the 14th. Now he's fighting again on the 28th. This is World Fighting League 12, Callaway Cup 3. What? So, yes.
They mix a fucking golf reference into it?
I don't know what is happening
Callaway
here.
Cup.
I don't know if they're sponsored by Golf Tees.
Right.
I don't know what the hell is happening, but World Fighting League 12, Callaway Cup 3.
Right.
Insane.
The winner gets a big bertha.
You get a big, oh boy. Look at that graphite handle, baby. Whew. It's got some give to it. You can really smack a ball 400 yards with that bad boy. It's John Daly is promoting it. So, it's good. Club Lido, this is again in Revere, Mass. He fights Clyde Ganthier, who's an 0-1 career fighter. Total.
That's
not
it.
Just coming in.
This fight is
his only fight. She said, never mind.
Forget it.
This fight, Josh wins by a knockout with punches in no time.
0.
The one site, I found this several sites, they all either say 0, 0, 0 or NA. Wow. So not applicable. But somehow, before the fight started,
timed the ding of the bell with his glove.
He knocked this man out cold. I don't know what happened, how he did that, but impressive, I would say. He beat this man back into time. That's impressive.
That is very
That's
impressive.
A win. Yeah.
Like, did the guy?
That's Spearman-esque. That's Spearman-esque.
Was this guy diagnosed with like fucking pancreatic cancer at the bell? And he just dropped
This was his Make-A-Wish. This was his Make-A-Wish right here. He's got like a week to live, and he's like, I want to fight MMA. They're like, we don't think you could make it. You're too weak. He's like, I don't care.
I can do it.
If I'm going to die, I'm going to die in the ring. And they're like, all right. And they just put him out there. Deal. Pow.
You'll have a cut, man.
Ding, ding. I think he's dead. I guess 0.00.
You guys in agreement? I don't know. I'm going with NA.
Fuck it. 0-1, though. He has a SureDog page now.
That is what we are sure of.
That's what we're positive of. These are all non-linkers, by the way, so far, obviously. November, so he's 3-0, Josh.
But if that was the real story of that man's life, he'd fucking be a linker.
He'd be a linker. Oh, yeah, that would be an amazing story.
That'd be the best Wikipedia page ever.
That'd be so amazing. Yeah. Like, this man was beaten to death as his last wish. This poor sick man he wanted to be pummeled into that great good night, and he just went, take me.
Such a fan of Blue Cross Blue Shield. He wanted to save them a shitload of money.
It's before the fight. Before the fight.
I saved a bunch of money on my health insurance by being pummeled into oblivion.
Oh, my God. Before the fight, instead of threatening him, he said, please walk me into that great sunset. He's like, okay.
Read him the Rainbow Bridge poem.
He's like, this is fucking weird, man. Yeah, shit's getting creepy.
This poem was written for a German Shepherd, I think.
I think it was.
He was hip-hop's biggest mogul, the man who redefined fame, fortune, and the music industry.
The first male rapper to be honored on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, Sean Diddy Combs.
Diddy built an empire and lived a life most people only dream about.
Everybody know ain't no party like a Diddy party, so.
Yeah, that's what's up.
But just as quickly as his empire rose, it came crashing down.
Today I'm announcing the unsealing of a 3-count indictment, charging Sean Combs with racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, interstate transportation for prostitution.
I was up. I hit rock bottom, but I made no excuses. I'm disgusted. I'm so sorry.
Until you're wearing an orange jumpsuit, it's not real. Now it's real.
From his meteoric rise to his shocking fall from grace, from law and crime, this is the rise and fall of Diddy. Listen to the rise and fall of Diddy exclusively with Wondery Plus.
In the 1980s, a rosé swept the country.
Hey, Mike, I really like this White Zinfandel.
Well, good. Now put it down. I'm going to try another one.
White Zin became America's top-selling wine. But most don't know that this sweet drink has a sour history. What began in 1986 with counterfeit bottles.
A big fraud, a multi-million-dollar fraud.
Sent investigators chasing one of the most powerful families in the business, the Licciardis. But the closer the feds got to them, the more dangerous things became. It's a story of deceit.
At the time, I was paranoid.
Threats.
You touch my kids, I will kill you.
And murder.
With a .22 caliber bullet to the head.
What started with a scheme to mislabel wine spilled into a blood-soaked battle for succession. Welcome to Bloodvines. You can binge listen to Bloodvines exclusively and ad-free on Wondery Plus. Join Wondery Plus in the Wondery app, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify.
And now back to the show.
Hey everybody, just going to tell you about a podcast new to Podcast One Sportsnet, Baseball and Chill. Listen each week to Kelly Nash and Scott Braum from the MLB Network as they cover all the big storylines and trending topics on and off the diamond. Some past guests include Baseball Hall of Famer John Smoltz and player-turned-coach Joe Girardi.
Awesome.
Yeah, champion Yankee manager.
Betcha.
Listen free to this show exclusively on Apple Podcasts, PodcastOneSports.com, and the Podcast One app. If you love the show, share it with a friend and remember to rate and review.
And now back to the show.
So November 18th, 2006, less than, this is 20 days later.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's fighting fast.
I mean, it doesn't really
he's not
matter
getting
yet.
hit ever. He's never been touched. He's just finding guys, grabbing him and beating him up.
Right. Pounding cancer patients into dust.
These are basically, he's debt collecting at this point. Some guy owed some money and he just went and roughed him up a little bit. And now he's going to pay up. Maybe that's all this is. Maybe this World Extreme World Fighting League is just some sort of weird cover for a loan collection thing where people owe gambling debts. So November 18th, Full Force Productions, this is now. Colon, Untamed 8.
Are you serious?
I swear to Christ.
Get the fuck out of here.
No, it's every time. Untamed 8.
You don't get to do that.
No, that sounds like a weird porn.
It does.
It's a Full Force Productions presents Untamed 8.
And it's super racist. They paint up an African-American lady in like a lion outfit or some shit.
Yeah, I was thinking,
hunt her in the Serengeti.
Yeah,
and then like
mount
7 dudes fuck her.
Yeah. And she really likes it, though. That's the twist.
She loves it.
That's the twist. Like, she's into it once they catch her. Because that's Full Force Productions. Full Forced Productions.
Ridiculous.
It's not voluntary. It's right in our name. Full Forced.
Right.
None of these actors are voluntarily.
Nobody enjoys anything.
No.
Not even the guys fucking.
No,
they're like, can I stop now?
Once again, they owe us money. They have to do this. This is a court ordered just for debt payment. Sorry, they can't help it. This is in Mansfield, Massachusetts. Again, all these these are just a bunch of screaming, drunken Boston, bloodthirsty fight fans. He fights Eddie the Tick Felix, which sounds like a low-level MMA fighter. If there's ever been a low-level MMA fighter, it's Eddie the Tick Felix. Right. It's kind of like in the beginning of Rocky when he's like, I fought Spider Rico. That's the low-levelest boxing guy ever, Spider Rico.
Meanwhile,
same thing.
This guy's trying to brag he likes fucking comic books, but Spider-Man's hacky, Superman's hacky.
Yeah.
I'm going with the Tick.
I'll go with the Tick.
I'm going with, I want a deep cut on the
I'm not Duckman. I can't fucking be Duckman. What are you talking about?
Nobody will get it.
Nobody's going to know what that is.
I gotta go with the Tick.
I'm going with the Tick. He was cool. So this is a 5-23 career fighter. So they should have ticks have more wins against humans than that against deer and whatever they do. Mice. There's a mouse and tick thing.
Sure,
Anyway, Josh wins with a TKO with punches at 49 seconds in the first round. So he hasn't had a fight go a minute yet.
No.
So he barely even breaks sweat against these people. He's 4-0 at this point. Killing it.
Yeah.
Killing it. He fights December 2nd, 2006. Combat Zone 19, Above and Beyond.
That's the colon?
That's the colon. Colon, Above and Beyond.
It's 19. We get it.
Number 18?
Yeah.
You know what this is?
Was that below and
Above
before?
and Beyond.
Whatever the fuck.
Yeah, what was 18? Now they have to top. How do you top Above and Beyond? Now what? Now you got to go to something different.
Above and Beyond. Every time you just go further.
And you already use Street Justice. So what the fuck are you supposed to do now? Yeah. You could have had it, but you blew it. This is at the Club Lido again. This seems to be this fighting organization's home club here, the Lido. This is in Revere, Mass. He fights Henrique Bilcalho? Bill Calho. And Henrique Bilcalho.
That's his last name.
That's it, Bilcalho.
Wowza.
Bilcalho. Bilcalho.
Yeah.
Bilcalho. I don't know how. Henrique Bilcalho.
That's fucking horrible.
That's a tough name to say.
Just fucking have your first name Bill.
How you doing?
Bill Calho.
Bill Calho here. Bill Calho.
It's like a Ford dealership.
Like my cousin Vinny.
Right.
Callow. Jerry Callow. Anyway, this guy's a 10-2 career fighter. Yeah. This is a weird thing.
Did you write Gallo? No, I said Callow.
Callow. With a C. So he's a 10-2 career fighter, and I'll be honest, I'd like to know more about this guy's career, but I had enough to look at with this other guy's career, and I was really interested in Nick Zimmerman and Josh Spearman and all that mess. So I got more into that. I want to know all about Nick Zimmerman, my favorite MMA fighter of all time. Nick Zimmerman, 1-7, love him. He says, I will fuck Spearman up.
I like 0 and 1 guy too.
Yeah,
that guy's fucking awesome.
I want to know that Zimmerman's like stalking Spearman. Like I really feel like he watches him when he leaves his house and fucking
hangs outside his window.
He looks at his kids as they get on the bus and shit, and he's like, I could take them right now. I could take them. They'd be in the river. Nobody'd ever know.
0 and 3. You can't take him.
Like fuck, he's beat you up 3 times. You're the only guy they're going to suspect. It's just going to be you. You go, anybody beat you up lately? Well, this one guy I beat him up 3 times in the last few years, so he might want some revenge.
You have any enemies? Yeah, I got a guy whose entire life is ruined because of me.
Half of my wins of my career against him, roughly, so he's a little embarrassed. Yeah. He only has 1.
And all of his losses are...
Yeah.
Half of his losses are against me.
And you know how that goes.
That's depressing.
So this guy, this Bill Calho guy here, he's a 10-2 career fighter, and then he retires. He won the last 5 fights of his career and then retired. How do you keep... Which you never see.
No,
it's usually, honestly, the most you see it is like 2 to 3 fights, lose, and then they retire. Some of the guys have like 9. Once in a while, I see a guy, go out on a win. They'll fight a tomato can at the end, so they can say they went out on a win, that sort of shit. But they usually aren't 10-2. They usually don't go from 5-2 to 10-2.
That's amazing.
It's like a good comeback of your career and then retire. And this one, this only goes 132 of round 1, and Henrique beats Josh with a submission.
How about
he gets a heel hook on him and beats him. So. Anything can happen in MMA, as we know. In 2 seconds, someone could grab you or knock you out or something here.
Bill Calho's a decent fighter.
He's not bad here, Bill Calho. He's pretty good. Just drop the Henrique altogether, unless he runs for office, and then he's going to be like,
and then pull that shit
he's
right
going to
back
pull
out
that
of
Henrique
that.
card out, and then you got to do that. Definitely, I would. Shit, and that's how you're gonna.
Oh my God! In a second,
you need some sort of identity. You can't
Did I
just
tell you guys I'm Latino?
You can't be Bill Calho running for office. No one knows who that kid. Nobody cares about that guy.
Right.
Who? There's just there's not even a catchiness to the name. Nothing, no matter what he is. So he's 4-1 now, Josh is. February 3rd now, he takes 2 months off.
Okay.
So take the holidays off, heal up after fucking being submitted.
He's on a huge win.
He's on a, Josh is, and Josh is 4-1
That's
great.
great.
Still a good start to your career. He is still very excessively young. That's the other thing too. I mean, look at where he
can't even
is.
drink alcohol.
No, he's he's 18 years old.
Right.
I mean, he's 18. This is fucking nuts here.
Right.
So he's doing well for 18. I wasn't ready to professionally fight anybody at 18. No. I am now though. I'm ready to go. If anybody wants to book us, me and Jimmy are, we only fight tag team MMA though. We do tag or handicap matches. We will take on one competitor with the 2 of us also, which is pretty,
that's fun.
We do a good job with that. It's pretty good. Yeah. We're pretty sneaky. We have a routine worked out. It's not bad. Call us.
I'll
for
fight a
bookings.
podcaster.
I'll fight her. Yeah,
Let him know.
I'll fight just about not Rogan. Anyone but Rogan.
Right. Anybody but that one.
And I'm sure Steve Austin. I don't want to fight either. There's a bunch of them.
I'm not scared of Steve at this point.
Steve Austin will kick your fucking ass. He's about 240 pounds.
Let's go, Steve.
He played college football, wrestler. I think he'd throw you in the
Hook 'em
garbage.
horns, Steve. Let's go.
He'd pick you up and just dunk you in the garbage. Like leave your feet going up and dangling. Oh, what's wrong with you, son? What's wrong with you, boy?
You want more, boy?
Yeah.
Whatever the fuck.
He'd pull you out and give you a beer.
Horrible.
He'd pull you out and have you give you a beer. He'd call you the N-word. I'm sure.
Smash the beer on my
Steve
forehead.
Austin wouldn't call you the N-word.
Probably not.
I think he's pretty cool like that, unless he had some problems, though. Never mind. Everybody forgot about that. Everyone forgot about the fact that he smacked the shit out of his wife. Did everyone forget about that?
Hey, listen.
He's fine now. No one cares.
He's got a contract.
That's what it is. No one cares anymore, though. But you expect that. He's a drunken redneck.
Do you see how many beers he drinks at once? Of course he does that.
I don't know. February 3rd. World Fighting League 15, Winter Brawl 2007.
Great.
You don't need the other part.
No.
It's just World Fighting League Winter Brawl 2007. You don't need the 15 part. That's not needed. This is Club Lido again. He fights Edward Odquina. Another weird name.
Odd fucking name.
Odquina, who's an 0-5 career fighter. Okay. This guy.
0-5.
So we're gonna. This is the 3rd fight of his career. Yeah. So this will tell you exactly what happens here. Josh gets back on track with a submission with an arm bar at 1 minute 11 seconds in the first round. Okay. So he still hasn't had a fight go out of the first round.
No.
Which is crazy.
Even the one he lost.
His 6th fight. Right. Yeah, in his 6 fights. It's either all or nothing. He goes, that's his style though. He goes in all the way.
Take it easy with your all or nothing. That's the name of a fucking fighting thing.
Oh, you know it is. All or Nothing 12. Right. Extreme Street Justice Fighting Championship Combat 14.
It's fucking so dumb.
Colin Menzies.
Yeah.
So, March 10th, 2007, he must owe some money. He's back doing Full Force Productions again. He's like, oh, come on. That poor woman, I can't do that to her. So,
I like lions.
This is Full Force Productions, Untamed 10.
Jesus.
So this is, they have a lion threesome, a lioness threesome now in this one. It's crazy. This is in Plymouth, Massachusetts here. He fights Fernando Bernardino here. This is his first career fight. Fernando. So obviously he's very promising, this Fernando. He fights Josh Grispi, but Fernando doesn't, put it this way, it's some of these guys we talk about, they'll have like a big future ahead of them, and some of them kind of have a mediocre future or whatever. This guy, this is pretty much his grace, Fernando's.
Really?
This is his first fight. He's 0-3 career, and he retires. So I would say pre-first fight, when he's in the gear, being announced and walked to the ring, that's probably his best moment of his career. When he's like, the possibilities are unlimited. Right. It's like a terrible baseball team in the spring. Like, we could do it. We are as equal with the champs right now. Everybody's equal. Everyone's equal.
Whoever wins at the end of the season, we were the same as them today.
Bell rings, it's over. So this fight actually goes all 3 rounds, though. Somehow, this fucking Fernando Bernardino takes Josh for all 3, so Josh proves that he won't pass out in 3 rounds, and he's in really good shape. Like, I mean, I don't know, cardiovascular, but he's real cut up and shit. He doesn't look like a guy who has any trouble with,
lifting, fighting, breathing.
With cardio. Yeah. He doesn't look like he's going to get real tired and get blown up real quick here. But Josh wins a unanimous decision here, luckily for him, which is good. At least he didn't lose a unanimous decision to this fucking tomato can.
That would sting a smidge.
That's a little rough on him. So now he's 6-1 total here. March 31st, 2007. This is World Fighting League 16, Moment of Truth 2.
No.
Yes, God. It absolutely is. World Fighting League 16, Moment of Truth
again
2. One more time. Moment of Truth, come back at me now. Come back.
Moment of Truth, one more again.
Hit me back again. Jesus Christ. World Fighting League 16, Moment of Truth, get it again. So Club Lido.
In case you forgot.
Yeah, that's a Jason Fuller joke right there. So Club Lido here. This is an exciting fight for him because, he fights this week.
Who's that?
Charlie Murphy. Not that Charlie Murphy. He does not fight Eddie Murphy's brother.
Doesn't fight a man with fucking leukemia.
He doesn't fight at this point like a 46-year-old man with leukemia in 2007
who's carrying a shit bag.
Yeah, you think Charlie Murphy would be like, know what I want to do?
I can see it.
I've been thinking about it.
Charlie's the greatest.
I've been on TV. I'm touring all over the world. I'm gonna fight a motherfucker now. Yeah, that's right.
Fuck your couch. Fuck your face. I'm gonna
fuck your face. I'm gonna fuck it up. So
I opened for that man, and he told me we're sitting in the green room. I'm sitting right next to him. We're watching a nothing TV show. It's quiet as a mouse in the green room, and he looks at me dead in the face and goes, "Fuck Shawn Wayans." I was like, what just happened?
That's awesome.
And then he started the greatest stories you've ever heard about how much of an asshole Shawn Wayans is.
I love when famous comedians tell us stories about hating other famous comedians. That's joyous to us. We love that. Yeah. And normally Charlie Murphy's dead, so I don't think he'll give a fuck. But normally we won't. If someone's alive, we don't disclose that shit. But if they're dead, fuck them. It doesn't matter. They don't care. It's not going to hurt them.
Charlie he'd be beaming with pride.
Hey, Shawn Wayans, Charlie Murphy thinks you're an asshole. He thought you were an asshole. I don't know if you thought you two were friends, but you weren't.
No.
He fucking hates you.
And apparently Murphy thought the same thing.
I was going to say, and I bet because of that, Eddie dislikes you also, which probably hurts you.
I think Eddie Murphy's opinion
idolized him.
Strongly influenced Charlie.
I would assume so. So there you go. Comic legend hates your fucking guts. And his MMA fighting brother.
The two, my favorite Murphy. Deal with that.
Jesus. So Charlie here. Charlie Murphy's a 1-5 career MMA fighter. That one win was versus Rick James too, which we all know that's his one win. Wasn't in
slapped Rick James with a shit bag.
That was his one win. His Chappelle Show open hand slap of Rick James. in the China Club.
I think Rick James slapped him, matter of fact.
Well, Rick James hit him with the Unity thing, and then later on in a hotel room, he kicked him in the chest and sent Rick James flying through the air. And also at the China Club, he open hand slapped him down to the bar, and he was like, I don't know what you mean, Charlie Murphy. Like, he honestly didn't remember hitting him and all that. Everybody's seen the episode. So anyway.
It's the most important episode
it is. It's very important. Of really television in general. Yeah. There are people can say what they want about educational
things.
Dave
Chappelle might be a genius because he he heard those stories just from Charlie. He's like, we're putting him in the show.
That's a show right there. Yeah, because it is a show.
Yeah.
That's fucking hilarious, especially with Charlie telling them. Yes. That's what makes it. So this Charlie Murphy has actually his one win came in his second fight. And he ends up being 1-5 career. This is not his second fight. So Josh wins with a submission armbar in the first round quickly. 7-1 for Josh. Like I said, Charlie Murphy will go on to die, sadly, at a young age. Terrible tragedy. We all like Charlie Murphy.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Thank God his daughter's got Uncle Eddie around.
That's going to help a lot, I would say. Because Eddie Murphy is pretty fucking rich.
He's got some money.
He's got I've heard he has a couple of bucks. Just a thought.
Heard he can afford rent this week.
I think he can. I think he can probably get it. He's working on it. He wants to get his car payment up, but I think he can get it. He's going to have a rent party, but I think he's going to pull it together at the end.
He might have a GoFundMe, but
You never know. There's a GoFundMe in this story, by the way.
Oh my God.
There's 2 GoFundMes in this story. Not 1, but 2. Very sad GoFundMes, both of them. April 28th, 2007 is Reality Fighting Domination is the name of the fucking promotion and card, and there's no colon, there's no number. Reality Fighting Domination, which absolutely sounds like porn.
Yeah.
This is fucking crazy. It's at the Everett Arena in Concord, New Hampshire. He fights Glenn Medeiros. He is an 0-5 career fighter. So he's not fighting the cream of the crop here. There's no this guy just won a title or something. Right. Nope, he's fighting tomato cans. This is his second to last fight. So he's 0-3 coming into this fight. This is the one here where his coaches said that Glenn Medeiros gave Josh a, quote, smug smile before the fight that made Josh want to kill him, apparently. He was like, how dare that motherfucker look at me like that, blah, blah, blah. He turned into a Boston meathead in fucking 0.2 seconds and went right into that. He thought he was in a bar. He was just completely mistaken. He was on ecstasy. You know how that goes. So this fight, again, he attacks him because of this. He's so angry. And he wins with the TKO with punches at 40 seconds of round 1.
Right.
So when he gets mad, it's good for him. Apparently,
in the ring.
In the ring. If he fought a good fighter, I'm sure that guy would use that against him. And this 0-5 guy doesn't. He's just like, oh God, this guy looks mad. Duck and cover.
What did I do?
Here he comes.
Remember that smile, motherfucker?
Stop. No. Come on, stop. Right. He starts going into that. Come on, quit it. He keeps hitting. Stop.
It hurts. Knock it off.
Cut it out, man. I can't breathe.
That's not fair. Give me a chance.
Come on.
Like picking on your little brother.
Yeah, exactly. So he's 8-1 now, Josh is. They said about him also, about Grispi, his coaches said, quote, he's such a nice kid. We have tons of jokes about it. He likes to find reasons subconsciously to get really angry at his opponent right before he gets in the cage. So that's what he does. He's looking for bullshit. Like a Boston bar goer, pretty much. Yeah. Exactly the same thing. He's looking for reasons. He said, quote, I remember there was a kid, Glenn Medeiros, and he got in the cage and was like, I'm going to go easy on this kid. He was like 0-4.
Yeah.
So Josh was like, I'm going to go easy on this kid. He was like 0-4. I'm not going to pummel him that quickly. And then he gets in the cage, as coach says, and this kid just has this cocky grin, and Josh looks at us and was like, what is he smiling at? So then he said he just gets so angry, it really motivates him. I remember his first fight.
He takes smiling as flirting.
He takes it as flirting. He said, he called me a faggot. That's what he did just now.
You see him right now?
I saw him. It wasn't that his fucking mother's sitting behind me over here on this side of the cage as I pace around, and he said, hey, Ma, how you doing? I see you there. Right. No, he called me a faggot. Right. I'm going to beat the shit out of him.
He said he wants to goggle my balls. I saw it.
Is that right? Let's do this. So he says, quote, he just gets so angry it really motivates him. I remember his first fight. This guy, Nick Zimmerman, said, oh, that's the pretty boy I'm fighting. And he just completely lost it. No one that has survived more than a minute that's angered him. But I don't know if it'll work so well against world-class guys. Like we just said.
Right.
That's, if you know what to do, you're like, oh, he ran at me. I'm going to put him on his face and twist him into a fucking pretzel. And that's how it goes. June 16th, 2007. Think about this. He's born in 88. He is still 18 years old. He's born in October of 88. And this is his 10th MMA fight.
Unbelievable.
At 18 years old. So he's super young. Full Force Productions, Untamed, 14.
Jesus.
They're going to have a lioness pyramid where from crotch to face. They're going to go stack themselves like that with a large vagina on top. looking like a sunshine, like a sunrise. That's how they're going to
present a baby out of it with the fucking Lion King music play.
That's what's going to happen. You know it's going to happen. That's they upped the production value for this one, which I will say that's impressive. They're investing in their own product, which you can't fault a company for that, Jimmy. We bought this studio, we built it, we invested in our product. They're investing in their product.
Spend money to make money.
You got to spend money to make money. That's what I'm saying.
This is going to be on Broadway this fall.
It's going to be impressive. I'll say that. It's artsy.
Right.
It's artsy. It might be off Broadway. We don't know. It's more of an art piece.
There's a little more detail in that vagina than I'd like.
You know what I mean? But it is what it is, man. It's raw art. That's the thing.
Labia minor. This is weird.
It's street art, baby. This is real. This is theater right here. This is what theater was made for, was this sort of thing. So this Untamed 14, Plymouth Memorial Hall in Plymouth, Massachusetts. Shocker, Plymouth Memorial Hall. Yeah. He fights Paul Gorman. Very exciting sounding fighter here. He's a 10-9 career fighter.
Not awful.
Not awful, mediocre, but he's won 10 fights, so he knows how to fight a little bit here. Josh wins by submission, round 1 with a triangle choke, 2 minutes and 29 seconds in a round 1.
Wow.
So he's back on track after his stupid loss there. December 15th, 2007. This is 6 months later. This is Full Force Productions again. Man, they put them out, these Full Force Productions.
The fuck out.
Jesus Christ.
Every month they're working on the next one.
Oh, fuck. Well, the next one. That June was number 14. December, number 18. This is Untamed 18.
Good Lord.
They won't give up on that Untamed title there.
They love it.
Oh, they love it. This
makes a lot of money, that Untamed.
You have to have it, really. Without that, what people aren't going to think there's full fucking penetration. They're not going to think it.
They think it's tamed if we don't say
Untamed. They think it's tamed. They're going to think that it's all blurred out. It's like Japanese porn. They're going to look at it and go,
forced productions, you guys.
Full forced productions. Don't put that on the letterhead, though. Just force on the letterhead. When we send it to people we know, we'll put a little D in pen so they'll know. They know. This is in Plymouth again. Like we said, he fights here. Spencer, Mr. Fantastic is his nickname, which seems like just a blatant thievery of Paul Orndorff's Mr. Wonderful. You're not Mr. Wonderful. You're not Mr. Fantastic. You're a shithead. Spencer, Mr. Fantastic shithead Page. He's a 7-2 career fighter.
Okay.
Total. He won the last 2 fights of his career and then retired.
Really?
Yes. These 2 fights come after this fight, though.
Better fighter than he is creative, though.
Apparently, yes, he is. Absolutely. But with his nicknames, Josh wins this fight with a knockout with a kick to the head in round 1 at 11 seconds. So he basically, the bell rings, they both bounce up to the middle, and Josh kicked him in the head, and then he went home.
And it's over.
That was it.
What a fucking strategic fucking
hung his shit up and went home.
Wow.
Yeah. So he's fighting bums here. I don't know who this Spencer Page beat. I mean, Christ almighty, he got knocked out with the first fucking blow this guy threw.
And a kick.
And a kick to the head. Yeah, you're not looking for that right away.
How do you not see that shit coming?
I could see that in the fight, in the heat of the fight. You're going to exchange with your hands, and then something comes out. Yeah, you should be ready for everything when you walk to the middle. He's got everything at his disposal at that point. He could do anything.
And he pulls the kick. Like, how desperate was he to end this fight,
Boom,
too?
Wow, like, fuck.
I got to fucking throw a kick right now.
I wonder if he winked at him or something. Hey, nice ass. And he's like, I'll fucking rip his head off. 11 seconds is
trying to explode his cranium right now.
Oh my God. So now he's 10-1, Josh. So this is impressive. He's now 10-1. He just turned 19 years old. So if you're one of the bigger companies, you're going to start looking at this guy, and they actually do start looking at this guy. Right now he's going to February 13th, 2008, a couple months later, he fights the World Extreme Cage Fighting 32, Albuquerque. No number, just Albuquerque.
May as well just say sorry.
Sorry. Comma, no need to put this in here because no one's going to go, oh, it's in Albuquerque? Right. Oh, I got to buy this now. It's on pay-per-view,
this
right?
This is the one you can miss.
This is the one from Albuquerque because I don't want to miss it. Don't give me this Las Cruces bullshit because I won't stand for that. This is in Santa Ana Star Center in Rio Rancho, New Mexico, which I guess is just probably a suburb. It's probably Tempe to Phoenix, I'm sure. Yeah. It's near Albuquerque. It's
still
a dump.
Albuquerque.
It's a dump. He fights. That's true. He fights Mark the Machine Hominick. I guess this guy's considered a pretty good fighter. Yeah. He's a 20-12 career fighter, and he lost the last 4 of his career. Okay. So before that, he was 20-8, which isn't fucking terrible. I mean, that's 20 wins is 20 wins. That's you're a decent fighter. Yeah. That's like if you played in the majors for 3 years. Like, you're a pretty good fucking ball player. If you better than most.
Right.
Put it that way.
So what? He stole his nickname from a comedian.
That's well, I think he had it first.
I'm sure there was many other people that had it first.
Nah, probably. Yeah. I assume, but that's okay. Well, they can share it. Right. That's all right. They're not in the same sphere. No. It's okay. And Bert got it from a fucking Russian guy anyway. Yeah, I was going to say, unless Hominick's going to start telling stories about fucking drinking with Russian gangsters, I don't think it's a problem. I think it's going to be okay for now.
And calling a Russian lady a bitch.
That's fucking hilarious. So Josh wins this by submission at 2:55 of round 1. Yeah. It's another first-round fight. This is a rear naked choke. It brings him up to 11-1. So they're fucking awesome. That's 11-1 is great. Now he takes a few months off from February 13th, 2008. Normally he's been fighting pretty often. He actually takes some time off till August. August 3rd, 2008.
Damn near a whole year. Are you even a fighter?
6 months. What happened? That's a lot of training. And what do you say you're doing? I'm just hanging. Training.
I get boxers doing that shit, but these guys don't do that. So
no, he was fighting every 2 weeks for a while there.
Now you don't fucking fight forever.
It seems like now when there's actual money involved in fights, now it's like you have to wait for that fight because it's a more money fight, and if you don't want to fight that guy, because if you actually lose to that guy, then you're not going to get that fight, which is the money fight. Right. So I guess it gets more complicated.
Comedy now when you get
it's very much
a little bit of like ability to get paid. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, it's the same thing.
I don't want to fucking go do comedy unless there's some money involved.
I'm not going to draw you. Our listeners and our fucking fans for nothing. Fuck you, for $100 or whatever. That's not going to work. Yeah, it doesn't work for me. Right. Sorry, thank you.
Or if you're going to pay me to go do some private shit where I don't have to bring a single person,
I'm not going to promote it. And you can still pay me. That's great. Yeah, if you have any affairs that you'd like to just pay me and Jimmy for,
guaranteed audience, I'm in.
Yeah, we don't even have to do comedy. If you just want us to show up and talk to people, we'll do that.
I'll show up with a roll of Charmin and go shit somewhere.
He's definitely going to shit up your bathroom. That's the thing. He's going to shit up your bathroom and leave me out there to talk to people. I'm going to be like, where is Jimmy with this shit? And I'm bad at this. And then he's going to come out and say, tell me about your juicer. And everything's going to be fine. And then I'll go off somewhere. And I'll hold my own for a while, though. I'll be fine and friendly. But then after that, I'm done. Yeah, I'm going to be done.
And I'll come out with freshly washed hands.
You're going to be fresh. Charmin dangling down behind you as you walk out under your arm. It's going to be beautiful. Yeah. So Josh is now, like I said, 11-1 going into August 3rd, 2008. World Extreme Cage Fighting 35. And they left it at that.
All right.
So that's good. No colon. You were like, oh,
we get it.
This is at the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino.
That's why.
Las Vegas, because it's a real event. Yeah. This is what I mean. That's why he takes a little more time off, save up for that Hard Rock fight, train. He fights Micah Maverick Miller here. He's a 20-8 career fighter, and I hope he's related to Mayhem Miller, because that would make me very happy.
I give him a lot of credit for going with what was his nickname?
Maverick. He went with he went with a gay icon. That's good. Yeah, it is. It's very progressive of him. Good for you.
Rather than Eminem. He could have really stumbled on this one.
He could have done badly. Yeah, he could have done bad. Instead, he went with, like I said, he's progressive. That's all. Good for you, buddy. Went with a gay icon. That's true. And so Josh wins with a knockout with punches at 50 seconds of round 1. Okay. So many fights under a minute. Yeah. Like, why? He had to fly all the way to Las Vegas and train for 6 months to fight for less than a minute.
That's how fucked this whole sport is, though.
Crazy.
That he can win that handily that many times, and it takes him this long to get somewhere that fucking matters.
Yeah, that's
nuts.
Fucking weird. So at this point, he's 12-1. Mahoney, his trainer, said, quote, Josh's style is just so reckless and so raw. raw.
Yeah.
It's really different when you're in there with him and his crazy reach and his ridiculous power.
Yeah.
So yeah, he just bursts out and starts fucking attacking people.
But it's a fluke, James.
Which it's a fluke, man. He needs a fluke win. Which is funny. Most of the MMA fighters, we haven't had many MMA fighters that we've covered that are like, he's a slow plotting strategic guy that gets in there and pounds. They're all like, he gets in, Dotzik does like crazy rolls where he tries to kick a guy. We had a crazy horse jumping around like a fucking maniac,
screaming the N-word.
Yeah, screaming shit, putting a guy on top of him and then posing for the camera. And like all the guys here have like that wrestler personality. Yeah. They all do. Like they all have this crazy character that they've invented, and it's so fucking weird. And those are the criminals.
It's junior behavior.
It's junior behavior. The rest of them are all just like regular dudes who go and fight, and you don't hear shit about them because they go fight, then they go home like normal people.
You ever seen George St. Pierre's name in a newspaper?
Yeah. Never. They're not fighting in Russian hotel lobbies or anything, or Japanese hotel lobbies like the one guy, and choking each other out backstage when no one's paying them to. How stupid is that?
And posting on Instagram and begging for money.
Yeah,
because he's in the fucking woods somewhere.
Jesus Christ, that's felony there. That's Charles Bennett. Yeah. Oh, fucking
it's
lunatic.
Crazy Horse.
Yeah. It's just crazy. So he's pretty crazy here, this guy, Josh Grispi, in the ring. And but so far out of the ring, he's been pretty tame.
Yeah.
We haven't heard shit from him.
Right.
He's been quiet. I mean, he's 19 years old. He hasn't really had a chance to do much.
He's at his parents' house still.
All he's done literally is go from the 8th grade to fighting. So he has had no opportunity to fuck up other than kick out a paintball.
Fool in your mom's house.
That's the thing. Yeah, there's a very limited range of foolery you can get into there, of nudnickery and tomfoolery that you can engage in. So June 7th, 2009, he fights again. So he waits from August 3rd, 2008 to June 7th, 2009, his biggest layover yet. This is at World Extreme Cage Fighting 41. Brown versus Faber 2.
Oh.
At least they did a fucking guys fight.
But it's the second one.
It's still, you don't need to do that. Yeah, this is at the Arco Arena in Sacramento.
Right.
This is a big event. Yeah. He fights, now this guy, by the way, I don't know if it's Jens or Jens. I'm thinking it's Jens, but he's from the U.S., so
it's probably
he's from Chicago, so I'm like, what the fuck? Jens Pulver is his last name. He goes by Little Evil, not Lil Evil, Spearman.
So he goes by
first. Little Evil. Yeah, he's like, there's already a Little Evil? Fuck. All right, just Little, I guess. Spell it out. I don't fucking know. I'm going by that, though. This guy here is a 27-19-1 career fighter. He had a crazy fucking upbringing, this guy.
Really?
He talks about, his mother putting guns to his head and like, just the most batshit, and he has.
Jens did?
Yeah, he has a crime and sports worthy backstory, but then he didn't.
But
do
he kept
anything
it together.
Criminal with that. Yeah.
He took all that and spun it positive.
Yeah, he spun it positive, and he got married young and had kids and turned out to be like a good dad and wasn't a piece of shit and had a horrible environment. We'll talk about something that comes up with him later as they really cross, as one goes one way and one goes the other later on. But at this point, Pulver here is 27-19-1 career fighter too total. So he's a real deal. Fights a lot of professional fights. Yeah. That's 47 fights here. This fight here, though, Josh actually wins this fight with a submission, and it goes to 13-1. So now he's 13-1. He just beat a pretty good fighter. Yeah. He's fighting in large arenas. He's traveling. He got out of Massachusetts. He's doing well.
Fighting on the same ticket as Faber.
Really up and comer. Yeah. I'm going to say it now. Yeah. Grace. This is Grace right here. Yeah. He has reached Grace.
He's killing it.
And it is quite the tumble from here, boy. This is like in such a short period of time. He goes from, wow, this guy is the future to please lock him away in a hole. He's the past forever. And we never want to look at this cocksucker again. So it's going to be interesting.
In the 1980s, a rosé swept the country.
Hey, Mike, I really like this white Zinfandel.
Well, good. Now put it down. We're going to try another one.
White Zin became America's top-selling wine. But most don't know that this sweet drink has a sour history. What began in 1986 with counterfeit bottles.
A big fraud, a multi-million-dollar fraud.
Sent investigators chasing one of the most powerful families in the business, the Licciardis. But the closer the feds got to them, the more dangerous things became. It's a story of deceit.
At the time, I was paranoid.
Threats.
You touch my kids, I will kill you.
And murder.
With a .22 caliber bullet to the head.
What started with a scheme to mislabel wine spilled into a blood-soaked battle for succession. Welcome to Bloodvines. You can binge listen to Bloodvines exclusively and ad-free on Wondery Plus. Join Wondery Plus in the Wondery app, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify.
A few miles from the glass spires of Midtown Atlanta lies the South River Forest. In 2021 and 2022, the woods became a home to activists from all over the country who gathered to stop the nearby construction of a massive new police training facility, nicknamed Cop City.
At approximately 9 o'clock this morning, as law enforcement was moving through various sectors of the property, an individual, without warning, shot a Georgia State Patrol trooper.
This is We Came to the Forest, a story about resistance.
The abolitionist mission isn't done until every prison is empty and shut down.
Love and fellowship.
It was probably the happiest I've ever been in my life.
And the lengths we'll go to protect the things we hold closest to our hearts. Follow We Came to the Forest on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. You can binge all episodes of We Came to the Forest early and ad-free right now by joining Wondery Plus.
And now, back to the show.
June 20th, 2010.
Yes.
There's World Extreme Cage Fighting Championship fuckery, whatever the hell's going on there.
Step one of the downward
Step
staircase.
49, Varner versus Belarus.
But number one.
Yeah, there's no number here. This is at the Rexall Place in Edmonton. Okay. So we're going Canada here, baby. Yeah, going to Alberta. Yeah. It's Alberta, right? Edmonton, Alberta. Yeah, that's right. Versus L.C. Davis, who's a 23-8 career fighter. Mm-hmm. Decent fighter, actually, this L.C. L.C.
L period C.
L period C. Black guy. Yeah, L.C. Davis. And he's a tough looking dude, too. He's not a tiny man. He doesn't go by Little Evil. He looks pretty good, and he's got a good career record. 23-8's not bad. Yeah. Josh wins with a technical submission. I suppose that's the ref has to stop because they've passed out.
Got it.
This was a guillotine choke.
Wowza.
So I'm assuming that's obviously he can't continue since he's not conscious.
Right. He can't tap out.
I'm going to go ahead and call this. Yeah.
His brain tapped out.
A long time ago.
Right.
This is round 1, 2 minutes, 23 seconds. 14-1 now, Josh is. So he's fucking crushing it, okay? Absolutely crushing it. It's at this point where UFC is interested in him, and he is all set to fight a guy named Jose Aldo at UFC 125. Yeah. This is going to be UFC's first ever featherweight title fight here. And he says, quote, Jose Aldo is one of the best fighters in the world, pound for pound, and you'll see why on January 1st. That's what Dana White says. Aldo can do it all, and his historic arrival in the UFC as its first featherweight champion is going to set an exciting new standard. Josh Grispi doesn't exist. Then he says, but Josh Grispi is a finisher, and he's got every intention of taking the featherweight title back to Boston. Okay. But he's not going to because this guy's the king.
A monster.
But Aldo.
Pound for pound.
Yes, pound for pound.
That's like a template fucking statement that Dana White makes.
Yeah, for every
fill-in name.
For every big fighter that he feels like whatever.
Bullshit.
But it turns out a month after this is announced, Aldo has an injury in training and has to pull out of the fight.
Yeah.
So Grispi's like, shit, this was my big chance at the title. And do I get the title now? Right. That's it. Instead, he still stays on the card and gets to fight, but he fights Dustin Poirier.
Yeah.
I don't know who that is.
Not the champ.
Not the champ. This is not for the featherweight title here. This is January 1st, 2011. Okay. So New Year's Day, 2011, UFC 125. Resolution. It's at the MGM Grand in Vegas.
Hold on. Hold on.
The MGM Grand Vegas.
How many have there been of this?
This is UFC 125.
125. We're going to get resolution
this
now.
This is it. It's over.
Right.
No
this
more
is
UFC.
The end. Right.
Everybody, we're disbanding
Dana
after
White
tonight.
doesn't know what resolution means.
I don't think he does at all know what resolution is. This guy's name, by the way, that he fights, this is not a good nickname. Okay. If you're going to name yourself something, don't bring to mind Screech from Saved by the Bell, because his name is Dustin, quote, the Diamond Poirier.
No.
That is his nickname. Dustin the Diamond Poirier. Somebody put that probably on a robe or a jacket or something. I'm sure he had a T-shirt made with that embarrassing shit printed on it. Asshole.
Or he was like, Dustin's got a huge crank. I'm in.
Let's do this.
That's the story about that guy.
Yeah, I don't
thing's fantastically huge.
Is he tough, though?
No.
Well, if he beat you with his cock, maybe.
He pulled
his
cock out and I believe hit somebody with it.
Well, there you go.
No, he stabbed somebody.
Oh, with his cock.
No.
Oh, wow, it's impressive. Oh, all right. Well, it's not as impressive.
It's not as
Anybody
big as
can
he
do
thought,
that.
right?
Jesus.
Maybe he tried to stab him with the dick and it didn't work.
Maybe.
And he pulled the knife.
Shit, this always works. Damn it. Poirier, Dustin the Diamond, is 23-5 career.
Wow.
So this is a real deal fighter. This isn't any schlub he's fighting here. This goes all 3 rounds. Goes the distance. There's a unanimous decision, and Josh loses.
Oh no!
So he loses a unanimous decision. He's now 14-2. But he stays in UFC. I mean, that was a new fighter that got sprung on him. Whatever. We'll give him a chance here.
Can you imagine what the champ would have done to him?
Oh, that Aldo would have probably ripped his fucking head off here.
Jesus.
But June 4th, 6 months later, is UFC The Ultimate Fighter 13 finale.
Yeah.
This is
I don't think
that
we know
card.
what that means.
No, again, I thought you just had resolution.
Right.
It's all been resolved. Now we need a finale.
Right.
How do you have a finale post-resolution? The post-resolution finale of the previous issue that we had
solved, right.
previously solved problem that needed resolution, and now we'll finally have it after we had unclear resolution earlier.
Right.
Enjoy. 4. Colon. There's more. Another fucking name after that.
It's the longest banner ever.
It's just
They're
huge.
gonna need one of those like tickers that like the words just keep scrolling.
You want to have hats made? They're like, no. Just forget. Have to go around and around.
They charge by the letter.
Yeah,
no.
we're not doing that. Just forget it. So this is at the Palms Casino in Vegas. So they're casino hopping, UFC, as they do. He fights George Roop, who's a 15-13
R-U-U-P?
R-O-O-P.
Oh, okay.
A 15-13 career kind of journeyman fighter here. A guy that I feel like they set this up for Josh to beat this guy.
Okay.
I feel like it's like, let's get this up and comer who's a kid. Let's get him back on the right track because he seems like a future product. Like I said, he's like when you look at him, he's a good looking dude. He's like a guy that if he's very successful, they can use him as a marketing guy. You can market around this guy. He's a young guy, very young, that sort of thing. But God, I hate that. Well,
as
Josh,
an ugly man, I hate anybody that can be marketed based on face.
Well, face and body and
just on appearance
sort of thing,
alone.
It's not personality. I'll tell you that much. This shit certainly isn't. I'd much rather be marketed by personality, like us. Our faces aren't shit.
No,
we're behind microphones.
Right.
I'm
furious to brush my teeth.
Yeah, but I could throw acid at you tomorrow, and you could be a fucking monster. Right. You could be a Phantom of the Opera monster, and we'd have the exact same number of listeners. They might go up.
Breathe it in.
They might be interested. They might be more interesting.
They might Google me.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They might be like, "That's pretty weird."
That's not as bad as I thought.
Let's see if his voice is fucked up, and then they'll like the show, and they'll be hooked. That's what we'll do. All right, you're dead.
All right, I'm going to get pool acid.
You're getting acid tomorrow. I'm sorry. You won't know when it's coming, but it's coming, motherfucker. So I'm sorry, Jimmy. It's for your own good. It's for our careers.
All right.
So Josh loses this fight by knockout from a punch to the body, which is rare.
Knocked out, hitting in the fucking gut?
A body shot that knocks. That's so rare. That's usually like in boxing, in like the 11th round, you'll see that after a guy's been broken down, and then he gets like a rib cracked, and then he can't continue.
Can't get up.
Because he can't breathe, because he was having a hard time anyway breathing. But this is round 3.
Forced all the wind out of him.
Yeah, and he's like, I can't get it back.
Can't get more in.
Oh, God, save me. I quit. So this is round 3 at 3 minutes and 14 seconds. So now Josh is 14-3. Wheels are coming off a little bit.
Yeah, they're wobbly.
Just when they start to wobble, August 12th, 2011, his son is born.
Oh,
he
my
has
God.
a son with Caitlin, his middle school sweetheart, I guess you could say, which we don't get to say very often.
His daycare sweetheart.
His daycare sweetheart, and Joshua Jr., of course.
Oh, my God,
of course.
really?
Of course it's Joshua Jr. Of course it is.
It has to be.
Of course.
They have no other choice.
You know, and this was the thing. Up to this point, you don't know what this guy's all about. He's just a young kid with kind of a temper who's a good fighter. Yeah. And then this happens, and you go, oh, here we go. He's going to be arrested.
We hadn't
Where's
started
my watch?
this show yet when I had a son. And as soon as he was my first child.
Yeah.
Like, my very first child was a boy. And when he was born, there was no part of me that was like, got to name him after me.
No.
Got to.
No, and I have the same.
No fucking way.
No, I have the same name as my dad, not middle name, not a junior. But I said, this ends now.
Yeah.
When I had a son. Like, this ends now. I'm not doing this again. No. This is
It's
stupid.
not even going to be a J. That's what I did.
No
I was
offense to
like,
my dad, but it's confusing in the
Yeah.
house. There's too many. Which one? No, that's never happening. when anyone calls. So obviously he names
But you
him.
should definitely get a partner named Jimmy.
Yeah, that's perfect, because that won't be confusing. Let's do that. Jesus Christ. My whole life I've been fucking
Haunted
having
by
Jimmy
Jimmys.
confusions. Need to find somebody named Ted. So,
but the spelling will be different, completely pronounced exactly the same. That should
that's good. And then make your Twitter handle Jimmy, but go by James. That's going to work out well. And then he'll go by something else, and everyone will be happy. No one will ever confuse it. It'll be perfect. So it's going to be fine.
Right.
So Joshua Jr., he has cemented himself now on the firm and steady path, the yellow brick road of Nudnickery. Now he's on the way to the yellow, just to the castle of Oz and stupidity, and he's skipping along with a scarecrow and a lion that he's kicked in the balls and or punched in the balls, like we discussed earlier.
Singing some terrible song.
Singing a terrible song. Right. And then August 14th, 2 days later, he stopped singing and skipping for a moment because he finds out that his father, Richard, he's had an earache for a few weeks, the same earache, and he finally goes to the doctor. Grispi, Josh says, quote, he's not one to go to the hospital. He'll just tough it out. But I called and made an appointment for him, and when we went, they rushed him right from the CT scan to Plymouth to Tufts in Boston. He didn't know what the heck was going on. Turns out they're taking him to Tufts Medical Center. If they take you to like a better medical center, that's a bad sign.
Not good,
we can't handle the fucked up shit you have going on in your body at the facility. We see all this equipment that looks super expensive, and all these people that went to college and did residencies, they can't fix you.
No.
None of this can.
You need people that went to much better
We
ones.
need more. The equipment, the everything.
Yeah.
I know it's bad for you to travel right now. That's how shitty we are here. That's how much
you're in such bad shape. You need a car ride.
You need a helicopter. You need to fly. You ever flown in a helicopter? No? Well, you're going to tonight.
Yeah.
That's what happened. My grandmother, when she had her heart attack there, they had to fly her in a helicopter. I said, have you ever flown in a helicopter, Grandma? She said, no. I was like, well, you have now. Enjoy. Stay calm, by the way. Yeah, stay calm, by the way, even though you're... Wow. So, I don't know. So they take him there for emergency surgery to remove a brain tumor that was the size of a hockey puck.
And he had an earache.
Earache. His ear was bothering him. What is that? A little something in there. I don't know what it is. Oh, it was a hockey puck. That's why I couldn't get it out.
It was a hockey puck-sized tumor.
He thought maybe the head of a Q-tip fell in there or something. He's like, I can't get it out.
Something crawling in my ear while I was sleeping?
Is that a boll
weevil?
What the hell's in there? Something got in one of those water bugs from back east. I don't know what that was.
It's a hockey puck.
So a millipede? No, hockey puck, sir. That's a hockey puck-sized tumor.
Pushing on your fucking ear canal.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. So Josh says, quote, it was crazy. They found out it was the worst, most aggressive cancer you can have. Now he's on chemo and radiation. I'm trying to help out around the house with the baby. It's just been crazy. So at this point, he says that he has to take a break, kind of a step back from MMA for a minute, because he's got a newborn baby and a father in the hospital with cancer treatments, and he's going back and forth from all that, which is understandable. This is tough. This is a tough break that honestly, obviously had nothing to do with it. You can be the biggest idiot in the world. It won't cause your father a hockey puck-sized brain tumor, no matter how big of an idiot you are. And he hasn't even really been that big of an idiot at that point. He says, though, Josh, that it was a very big wake-up call for him. He said, quote, I was a mess as soon as I knew he needed brain surgery. I was just thinking it was his first grandson, and he was just born, and now with all this stuff, I want my dad to be there with his grandson. There was just a lot of stuff going through my head. Brutal. Understandable. I can totally see that here. He says that he hoped to return to training soon, and he has a lot of motivation to do that, but still, he's having a hard time.
Sure.
He says that, quote, all I can think about is I don't want my dad to see my last 2 fights be losses. I want to get back in there, but I don't think I should have even fought those 2 fights. I should have just taken care of myself when I needed to, but I needed money. I was having a kid, so I needed to save up more money. I was fighting for the wrong reasons, which makes sense. But he fought like one fight every 8 months. It wasn't like he was stacking them.
Now he's in a position with MMA where it's like it's like having a piece of shit car. And you got to work to fix the alternator. Now you're working to fix the fuel pump. Now you're working to fix the fucking water pump. That's what his life is now. Now he's fighting to get his dad chemo treatment.
It's all maintenance.
He's got to go back and fight to get diapers.
It's all every time he comes is
life maintenance.
Stress is big time, and he's only 21 years old. So that's the other thing. It's a lot of pressure on a 21-year-old kid here. He said, now I want to get back into it. fighting, that is, and I love it again, and not look at it like a job anymore. Yeah. My other pre-UFC fights, it wasn't like a job. I was just having fun, going in there, doing my thing. Then I put out all this pressure on myself, and the losses happen. I'm looking to get back in there as quickly as possible, but not to the point where I can't go in there and have a blast like I usually do. Sure. Well, it's fun to fight shitty fighters that you're much better at than, and can go in there and pummel them in 40 seconds and then celebrate. Yeah, that's a lot of fun. Yeah. But when you actually have to work hard and like study a guy's tapes and figure out what he does and go in and train hard because it's going to be a tough battle, that's not fun anymore. No. Sorry. You ever seen any training? Doesn't look like a lot of fucking fun.
No, it's
that's
bloody
the point.
chess.
It looks tough. Yeah. So summer of 2012, as the year progresses a little bit, his father's starting to do a little bit better. He says, my dad is doing good. He's still in chemo, but nothing is growing back or anything. It's crazy how well he's doing right now. Thank you for all your prayers and everyone that helped us out. He said, quote, my son's getting big. He's almost 12 months now. He's going to be a year. It's crazy, but awesome, and I love it.
How many times can you describe a situation as crazy?
It's crazy. It's awesome.
Crazy.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy. He doesn't have much in the way of vocabulary we're going to find. There's a lot of crazy and I don't knows and things like that, and likes a lot. A lot of commas in his speech. You know, he's just very halting.
That's my fucking biggest pet peeve in life is the word like. How
the
much?
Constant.
Oh, good Christ. People, you can recommend a podcast to me, and if the first 2 minutes are 40 likes, I will fucking bail so
Well, that's
fast.
just people who have no talent in broadcasting. Sorry.
Or have nothing intelligent to say.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Right. Well, they might even have something intelligent to say, but they can't get it across in this medium.
Right, because they're not intelligent.
Because for some reason, people think because you can go buy a fucking good microphone for $350, that makes them a talented broadcaster all of a sudden. I know where the microphone store is. There's a Guitar Center near my house, so that means I'm a talented broadcaster now.
It's going to delete the word like from my conversation.
It's fucking bullshit. And this includes famous people who aren't like this. This isn't their medium. Sorry. You ever listen to Katie Couric's podcast? It's a pile of shit. Listen to it. I'm sure if it's a nightly news broadcast or an interview with a famous person, she can do it much better than me. But in this medium, I'll kick Katie Couric right in the twat. I'm so much fucking better than her, and so are you. I'm sorry. You can know in 2 seconds that she has no talent for this. You're like, oh, you're a TV person. It's just the way it is. And not to pick on Katie Couric, because this goes for 100 other people.
It's not your fault, Katie.
No.
You were brought up in a fucking medium of broadcast journalism.
And you're TV, so you don't know how to present things in an audio fashion. You've never had to do it's just and it goes for a ton of people, actors that do it. Right. And some of them are really good at it. And they end up having a lot of talent for it.
I listen to Alec Baldwin on a podcast all fucking day long.
The fucking the Queer Eye guy with the ponytail, Jonathan Van Ness. Sarah listens to this shit all the time. Dude's hilarious. You're like, this guy's fucking hilarious.
Because he's got a personality.
He's got a personality, and it comes across in an audio format.
When you got personality on the news, they fire your podcast.
They fire, yes. You have to be very dull.
Fuck out of here
on
with
a podcast, if you have a thing, and it's boring.
Nobody wants that.
It's fucking boring. So anyway, now that we've had that out of the way, it had nothing to do with anything.
Some peeps.
Now that we've offended everybody. Sorry, everybody. Sorry, Katie Couric. Not your fault, but get the fuck out of my backyard. Sorry.
Just polished his Adidas. He can't
That's
wait.
Right. Yeah, I did.
Kick you in the door.
It's coming to the moon, Katie. on the tip of my gazelle to the moon.
Via your vagina.
That's terrible. I apologize.
Jesus.
So, no, I don't. She's still terrible at this, and that I do not take back.
It's like finding out that Don Cheadle tried comedy. Like, knowing that he tried comedy and was fucking terrible at it, I'd lift my hands in victory every goddamn day.
I'd go on after him and crush and be like, sorry, Don.
Deal with that, Donnie. Yeah.
Tough night, Donnie.
Get back to the fucking...
Take that.
Get back on set. Your lines are up next.
Exactly. And then he'd do something that's way more important.
That's amazing, and he gets a goddamn Oscar for it.
Forever, and it's burned in, and we go home and no one cares. And a bunch of drunk people went, that second guy was pretty funny. And that's what we get. He gets praised as a genius.
How long have you done this? I get that conversation.
Oh, yeah, all the time. You're like, oh, Jesus Christ,
long enough to make you laugh, fuckface.
Yeah, shut up and move on. People we hate. Katie Couric, question-asking nice people who have... Just everybody.
Inquisitive people that want to know more about me.
Curious about your life. And fuck
I'm
you.
Offended by it.
Well, that's how we both are. I don't want to know about your juicer. How's that? So,
fuck your juicer.
Fuck your juicer.
How long have you done this? Fuck your juicer. That's how long.
Fuck your juicer. That's the shirt I want, is the fuck your juicer shirt. That's the shirt I want. Fuck your juicer. I don't want to know shit.
Christ.
Jimmy slapping a juicer out of somebody's hand, shaking his head. So August 4th, 2012.
Yeah.
This is UFC on Fox 4,
Yeah.
Shogun versus Vera. I don't know. Those
On
people,
Fox
on
4.
Fox 4. I don't know.
It's so much.
That's a lot.
It's exhausting.
UFC on Fox 4,
Just to try to follow it.
That's and even like on a TV thing, it's really long.
Yeah.
It's probably longer than the program's going to be. It's at the Staples Center in L.A.
Yeah.
He fights Ronnie Yahya, Y-A-H-Y-A. Yahya? Ronnie Yahya. R-A-N-I is Rani. Rani
Yahya?
Rainy Yahya?
I don't know.
Rainy Yahya sounds like something a child calls his grandmother. That's Rainy Yahya. Like, doesn't it? Like, why do you call her that? I started calling her that when I was like 2 and nobody corrected me.
I couldn't speak English.
I still call her Rainy Yahya. It's just the way it is.
So now I'm 63. I still call her that.
When my Rainy Yahya died.
Your
the
what?
fuck is that? The what? So
wait, rewind. Let's go back. Fuck the rest of this story.
Yeah, never mind. Let's talk about that.
This story is going to be shit compared to what you just called her.
No shit. So this Grandma Yaya here, Granny Yaya, is a 25-9 career fighter.
Yeah.
That's not bad. Josh, this fight goes 3 minutes and 15 seconds of round 1. It is a submission with a north-south choke, and Josh loses again. I don't know what a north-south choke is. I think that's a 69.
That sounds horny as
That
fuck.
sounds like a 69, where the guy on top is winning.
Sounds like you get your arm around his neck and the other one firmly wrapped around both his crank and his balls.
I feel like that's most submission moves.
That's a hell of a choke.
Most submission moves are you do this, this, and this, and if with that free hand you can reach his nutsack, latch on to it, see what happens. Yeah. So
that's the north-south.
Josh is now 14-4. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of fallen apart on the professional side here. In the UFC, every time he faces these good competitors, he can't seem to pull a win off. That doesn't stop him, though. He's got another fight scheduled on February 16th. February 14th, he tweets, this is at Josh Grispi, by the way. He tweets, quote, "Happy V-Day to my lovely wife and child. I'll be home soon and hopefully with a fat win bonus to buy you extra flowers at UFC."
Yeah.
So, people will see it and actually notice it. As of right now,
please retweet this.
It has 11 retweets and 5 likes.
That's not good.
So that's not terrific.
He's got more retweets than likes?
Very strange,
That's
right?
bizarre.
I thought that was strange. And 2 comments
sounds
also.
Like he's followed by bots.
Probably bots or just UFC bullshit and whatever. I don't know. So this fight is February 16th, 2013, UFC on Fuel TV 7. Barreo versus McDonald. UFC on Fuel TV 7. That's a lot.
Why are they putting the network in there? I mean, I get it. That's good marketing to get people to watch it.
I'm sure they sponsor the thing too and tie it all in.
Fuel TV's like, you better put our name fucking everywhere.
7.
Yeah.
Fuel TV 7. They must have had 6 other UFCs on Fuel TV.
Right.
This is so fucking confusing. Stop it.
There's more effort to decipher what you're fucking...
what's happening now? So this
is your hieroglyphic bullshit.
You need a degree in Egyptian studies to figure out what the fuck UFC this is and what's happening. Christ almighty. So this is a UFC arena, Wembley Arena in London.
Fantastic.
So this is a huge, awesome place. He fights Andy the Little Axe Ogle. Mm-hmm. So the little, it comes up a lot in these smaller fighters. He's a 9-6 career fighter, but after this fight, he would lose his next 4 and retire.
Oh boy.
So this is a last hurrah for Andy the Little Axe Ogle.
Gotcha.
As the fight goes the distance. But Josh loses a unanimous decision.
Unanimous again.
He's
not
now
good with the decisions.
Nope. So he's 14-5. Yeah. So let's unpack this. Well, he 2 days ago. No, not he's got bad decisions. Yeah. He's upset with his own decisions, referees' decisions. He's got a lot of issues. On February 14th, Valentine's Day, happy V-Day to my beautiful wife, and I'll be home with a fat win bonus and extra flowers, and he's at UFCing, and everything's great. And then the 16th, he loses his fight, and then the 20th, UFC releases him.
Wow.
So that's a rough week. 6 days later,
he's jobless.
He went from sky's the limit, nothing but potential to, listen, I'm sorry. I'm going to have to go get a job at a gym somewhere and and teach housewives how to grapple. This sucks.
Keep people from getting raped somewhere.
Yeah, but hey, fuck it. That's the Lord's work.
Yeah.
So that's February 20th, 2013. And shortly after that, his daughter's born.
Oh,
so
no.
let's add a kid to this pile of shit,
God.
too. So yeah, I don't know if he wasn't passionate and was just fighting because he needed to make money because he had kids or what the deal is, but he's having problems at that point.
He's got a lot on his mind. He's forgetting to wear rubbers for sure.
That's the first thing that goes, as we all know. When you get hit in the head, that's the first thing you start forgetting.
Put this in something.
You get older, eyesight's the first thing to go as you start to get brain damage. Birth control, contraception, retention it just goes right out the window. So that's his daughter's born right around then, and it's quiet for a while. He has no fights. He doesn't fight professionally for a while here. August 1st, 2014. He hasn't fought, since February of 2013.
Yeah.
So it's been a year and a half since he's fought.
That's a lot.
It's a lot. His dad's recovering. He's got kids. I don't know what he's doing to pay his bills at this point. August 1st, 2014, though, there's a huge problem here. Caitlin's mother, Karen Fava, she goes to the Middleborough Police Department to show them a picture her daughter sent her over the phone.
Oh, no.
This picture shows Caitlin's face with multiple bruises all over her face. Her nose is bleeding, bruised. She's got bleeding lips, bruises all over her body. Her mother, obviously, Karen, was concerned about her welfare and the welfare of her grandchildren, obviously, who are 1 and 3 years old. So you wonder, hey, you don't want that around the kids. She calls the police to say, can you do a welfare check on my daughter? I have these pictures. So police go over to the house that day. They want to speak with Caitlin, obviously. They want to discuss her options, and they can't force her to do anything at this point because it's a thing that happened before, and so obviously they can't force her. She has to say she wants to press charges and she wants help and that sort of thing. And they said when an officer asked her the last time Josh had hit her, she said yesterday. To that. So this was a Sergeant Graham.
So you're saying he didn't stop fighting?
He didn't stop. No, he's been fighting. Just he's probably winning more fights than he had been.
Yeah, he's really knocking him out now.
Yeah, so they tried to speak with her. She said that, and then as soon as she said that, Josh comes to the door.
Oh, no.
Josh comes to the door. They asked to speak with Caitlin alone, and she stepped outside to speak with the cops. The one cop asked Josh to go back inside so he could speak with Caitlin in private because, you don't want him staring at her going, don't say nothing, bitch, as the fucking cops are talking to. You don't want to pull a Frankie Pantangeli on this fucking poor bastard. It's a Godfather 2 reference there, staring him down in court. Or kind of like on the fucking Wire when they bring Stringer Bell in to stare at everybody in the D'Angelo Barksdale murder trial that starts off the first season. Never mind. Okay, moving on. So this whole thing, the cops are here. They're talking to Caitlin in private. Josh is sent back inside. Cop says the first thing Caitlin mentioned was that there was guns in the house. Cop asked where they were. She said the bedroom. So they went inside to speak with Josh and to ask him about the weapons situation. They found 3 handguns, 2 rifles, and an assault rifle in the bedrooms, according to police doc. Every time we talk about guns, someone will say, that's not actually an assault rifle.
Whatever.
I am telling you with the goddamn fucking legally, I don't give a fuck if in the gun community, if that's not technically an assault rifle. I don't care either way. It doesn't matter to me. I'm saying
the police called it this.
The police are legally classifying it as that. If you don't want to classify it as that in your own house, knock yourself out. But in the rest of the world, it's an assault rifle.
I trust
Sorry.
a police
I don't know what to tell you.
Opinion of a weapon more than I trust a fucking
not
asshole
political
that goes on the weekend.
Yeah, and not political. We're not giving an opinion on it either way. We're just saying that's what they said. No, don't fucking yell at us about it. So anyway, I don't hear that shit. It's actually not an assault rifle. That's not automatic. Well, when the police report says automatic, I say automatic because I'm not going to fucking dispute a man with a gun in his holster when I don't have one on me.
On his fucking hip.
On his body. So anyway, they find that, the assault rifle, and these were all in the bedrooms. Caitlin then said there was another handgun. She moved from the kitchen to the porch area. All of them were in containers, but none of them were properly secured. Ammunition was found with the guns, and some of the guns were loaded. The handgun was found on the porch. It was a 6-hour 45 caliber. Was loaded with a 6-round magazine. Just hanging out on the porch.
That's kind of a light fucking magazine.
No, it's a 45 though.
6 rounds is weak.
It's not a lot, but it's still 45 is pretty.
6 rounds of 45.
That's a business. That's probably
enough.
a lot.
That'll do.
Yeah, probably one in the chamber too. So 7 will work, I think, probably. So at that point, they have a 3-year-old wandering around the house, which
crazy.
is you don't want to have all these loaded weapons with a 3-year-old.
When they say in a container, like I see it like in a Cool Whip. You know,
that's what I see. I saw it in a see-through one that you put cereal in and you can open the top and pour it out. I saw him in one of those, just like instead of like say dump the Cheerios
just
out,
as white trash.
And put a fucking gun in, or worse, put the gun in with the Cheerios. Right. And be like, you can't even see it with the Cheerios.
Still in the Cool Whip.
Yeah,
it's
or
just
it's
like
in
buried under a pile.
Eat around the Sig Sauer.
You want some of this on your pumpkin pie?
Oh, I got a handgun.
Is this a 45?
Is this a 45 slug you put down here? What's going on? Wow. It crushed my pie, but thank you. Hurt my tooth. So they said there's kids here. Both the kids have access to the bedroom, kitchen, and porch area. The cops all say that had unsecured weapons. Josh does have an active license with a Plimpton address, which is different from where he is there. Mm-hmm. The cops asked him how long he lived in Middleborough, and he said since last year. So they said, well, why didn't you change your license, your address on your license to carry? Right. And he said he didn't know he had to. So. Duh, obviously. They want to know where you are.
That's the most white privilege ever.
I didn't know I had to. I thought I'd just have as many guns as I want strewn about my home, unsecured and loaded, with my children crawling around. That's my right as an American.
I didn't know you needed to trace where I live based upon my weapon.
Yeah,
I had no idea. You wanted to link those two together. That doesn't make any sense.
The funny part is most gun people will hate him, too, because they're like, stop doing that shit. You're giving us a bad fucking name when you're leaving shit in cereal containers out in the fucking kitchen.
Get that out of your Cool Whip.
Goddamn asshole. Yeah, stop it. Remove the gun from your... Now. Don't sell him. Hey, don't sell him Cool Whip anymore. He's not allowed.
Yeah, that's the thing that they'll do. They'll be like, you did what with your...
He's not allowed.
Did what with your gun?
No more Cool Whip.
No more Cool Whip for you. No more gun for this asshole.
Cool Whip.
No.
Out. So they speak to Caitlin. Right. She said she immediately began crying, like we said. She said she didn't know what to do. The cop said he told her that she has options and she has a family that cares about her. Her mother and father and sister are all there. They're all interested. Not there now, but they were before, and they called about this. She said that he just hit her yesterday, like we said. The cop asked if she suffered any injuries, and she said she had a bump on the back of her head. He said he went over her options with her. The cop told her that they could seek charges against Josh for domestic assault and battery, and she could seek an emergency restraining order. He advised her that Josh would be removed from the house and wouldn't be able to contact her for if she got a restraining order. He said that both her and Josh were required to go to court on Monday. They would be required to go to court on Monday regarding the order if they did that. So they'd have to do that. She, of course, has burst into tears again, and they have a hard time calming her down, as I don't blame her at all. She finally decides to get an emergency 209A restraining order against her husband.
Good girl.
This is a quickie 3-day, 72-hour.
Just get out of the house, take a break,
cool off.
Right.
Restraining order.
Realize that there's consequences for your fucking actions.
Yes. Right. She also decides to agree to temporarily give custody of her 2 children to her mother for right now, while they get the house. Just back in order here. So she does want to seek the charges and a restraining order. She completed a witness statement. She stated that she'd been abused on the statement for approximately the last 2 years. So basically, since he stopped fighting, he's been beating up on her instead about this whole thing. She said she's been afraid to come forward because he has been threatened. He threatened that he would kill her and her family if she ever came forward. And she's got he's got guns. He's fucking crazy. He's got a big giant pit bull. He's that kind of guy that trains to bite people and shit. We'll get into all this.
Jesus.
Caitlin also included in her statement that her children were also present during the assaults and all that, so she put all things in there. Yeah. He was charged with multiple counts of improperly storing firearms near minors, as well as assault and battery, and they arrested him. They seized the guns. He was ordered to surrender ammunition and weapons as a condition of release if he posts bail, too.
Got it.
So you can't go back to this house now pissed off, and then there's guns everywhere.
Weapons, right.
So that's probably not going to be okay. Let's take the guns out of this. 2 things we need to take out of here. Actually 3. 2 kids and all the guns.
Yeah.
Those 3 things need to go.
And then you.
And then also, why don't you take a fucking walk too? Because you're an asshole. So he posts $2,000 bond, Josh does, and he's released. He's not supposed to file or have any contact with Caitlin. That's the deal. That's for 3 days, though.
Mm-hmm.
August 4th, 2014, the restraining order lapses.
Okay.
Then.
It's over.
So she, instead of extending the restraining order like she should have, she doesn't because, quote, she thought Josh would be better.
Yeah. 72 hours, that's what it takes to cure a 2-year abuser.
A 2-year abuser. I mean, think about what kind of hell this fucking woman lives in with this guy around the house, too. He doesn't even work now. I mean, he might work, but it's not what he wants to do. He's miserable. He's beating her up. She has no. The other thing too, she's never been not even an adult. She's never even been a high school student on her own. She has been with this guy since the 8th grade.
It's weird.
What kind of fucking hold? And I mean, this is not. This is why you shouldn't go with anybody before. You need to get your own experiences of becoming a person so you don't end up in this situation and go, I think he'll be better because you don't know anything else and you're probably scared to fucking try, I would imagine.
Also
and you're scared of him.
Big portion of men's ego and insecurities are driving that in that women don't want to have like a large number of men that they've slept with because it might make a dude feel right. Oh, you're whored up.
Exactly.
Fuck you, dude. You don't want a chick that hasn't fucked. Right. You don't want a chick that hasn't fucked dudes anyway. That's a terrible leg.
I could see if every Sunday they all had to come over for dinner.
Right.
That would be a thing where you'd be like,
all those dudes got to come over.
Everyone she's ever fucked has to come over every Sunday for dinner. That would be like,
that'd be
dude,
horrible.
I'm finding myself somebody. But otherwise, what the fuck do you care?
Who gives a shit?
Who do you care?
Those dudes aren't in your life.
Yeah, it's so stupid. Yeah, that's some insecure shit.
Unless she still hangs out with each and every one of them.
That's another thing.
There's a problem.
Yeah, well, and that goes the other way too. If he's hanging out with her, another girl, she's not going to be happy. So you know that's not.
Who cares what her number is? Be thankful that she slept with a bunch of dudes and learned how to suck your dick.
Just care what the last dick she sucked was. That's all. You hope it's yours, and then beyond that, shut the fuck up about it. Right? What are we talking about?
That's what it is. And vice versa, ladies. God damn it.
Let's do that.
Right.
So Josh, that's the truth. Mm-hmm. Josh returns to their home in Middleborough because they're going to be a happy family now. They have a white picket fence, literally, and everything. It's on Lovell Street in Middleborough. The children, though, stay with Caitlin's parents at this point, which is nice.
Behind the closed doors of government offices and military compounds, there are hidden stories and buried secrets from the darkest corners of history. From covert experiments pushing the boundaries of science to operations so secretive they were barely whispered about. Each week, on Redacted, Declassified Mysteries, we pull back the curtain on these hidden histories. 100% true and verifiable stories that expose the shadowy underbelly of power. Consider Operation Paperclip, where former Nazi scientists were brought to America after World War II, not as prisoners, but as assets to advance U.S. intelligence during the Cold War. These aren't just old conspiracy theories. They're thoroughly investigated accounts that reveal the uncomfortable truths still shaping our world today. The stories are real. The secrets are shocking. Follow Redacted, Declassified Mysteries on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. You can listen to Redacted early and ad-free right now on Wondery Plus.
Everyone out there should listen to Small Town Murder. You really should, mainly because you never know who's next door. And that's the point of this show, really. You never know who is next door. You never know what's going to happen on Small Town Murder. That's what makes it so wonderful. The only thing you do know is that people are going to die, and we're probably going to make jokes about it. That's it. That's all we can promise you. We dig into these towns. We see what makes them tick, from local legends to scandals they may have had. And, of course, the biggest scandals of all, horrible murders that take place there. And we put what I feel is a completely appropriate comedic spin on the whole thing. And you know you need a laugh right now. So get in there, listen to Small Town Murder, follow Small Town Murder on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. You can listen to Small Town Murder early and ad-free right now on Wondery Plus.
And now back to the show.
Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit more about Blue Apron.
BlueApron.com.
Oh, Blue Apron is fantastic. Blue Apron delivers farm fresh ingredients and step-by-step recipes to your door. The #1 meal delivery service in the United States. Get your 2-person meal plan, your family meal plan, your wine plan.
Yeah.
So much good stuff at Blue Apron. This is pre-portioned stuff, all the spices, everything, every little instruction down to the detail. You cannot mess this up. Even if you're a really good cook, you're going to love this. If you don't know how to cook, you're still going to do great with this. That's how wonderful.
If you don't know how to cook, it's going to be much better for you because you're going to learn.
You're going to learn things like honey chipotle glazed chicken with poblano and lime rice. Holy cow. Christy Teigen's things, her chipotle lime chicken fajitas with sauteed mushrooms and sweet peppers. There's so much good stuff. You should check out this week's menu and get your first 3 meals free over at blueapron.com/crime. That's blueapron.com/crime to get your first 3 meals free. Blue Apron, a better way to cook.
blueapron.com/crime. And now back to the show.
So he's home on the 4th. Everything's fine. They're going to white picket fence. They're going to, he just got out of jail. So, he's going to probably be sweet, flowers, maybe, something. I'll make you some dinner.
Bouquet of ARs.
Yeah. Well, here you go, honey. Bunch of clips.
She just brought her a fucking bowl of Cool Whip with fucking loaded with weapons.
3 banana clips in it.
Look, I got you a banana
there
split.
You go. It's for your AK, baby. For your AK, sweetheart. So we'll talk about what happened during the course of this romantic evening, but it results in Caitlin at night, after it gets dark and everything, dressed in her underwear, running out of the house bleeding.
No.
Dressed in her underwear and a black tank top. That's all she has. She throws open her neighbor's porch looking for a place to hide. Mm-hmm. So her next door neighbor sees her neighbor come in bloody in her underwear, crying over there. She says, she told her neighbor, he's after me. He's going to find me. He said he's going to kill me. So
minus the blood and the crying, like all that shit. The rest of that's a hot story.
Well, the rest of that's a penthouse letter. It's like I was sitting on my porch the other night and a woman and an attractive woman burst through my screen door in her underwear and said, "Take me in your house now." That doesn't happen.
That sounds awesome.
No, that only happens if they're being beat up next door and they're looking to you for help, and then hopefully you help them.
Still got the fucking collar and dog lead on.
Yeah, that's fucked up, man. So the neighbor quickly brings her inside. This is a woman. She brings her inside, shuts off all the lights so he doesn't see them in there, and calls 911
Good girl.
immediately. So that's good. Good on everybody.
Yeah.
The police show up. They say that Caitlin's hair is disheveled. She had makeup running all down her face from crying. Police said they see the back of her right thigh that she has blood all over it. And Caitlin says, "Oh, that's from my dog Buddy." Okay, Buddy's their pit bull.
What a pal.
She reported that her husband Josh had the dog bite her. Had the dog. Yeah. The dog's trained to bite, and he sicked the dog on his wife.
What a piece of shit.
Complete piece of shit.
Well,
and
he didn't do it.
No, I mean, shit, it's the
They
dog.
told me not to hit her.
Hey, that's what happened, so I didn't.
Right.
Caitlin at this point was holding her head and her right arm and wrist. She said it really, really hurt. She was unable to write out a written statement because her arm was so messed up.
What the fuck, man?
They said she was hysterically crying. They had Caitlin kind of stay from the beginning, tell us what happened. She told them all about the, getting the restraining order and kind of taking them through the whole story. She said today she was supposed to extend the order, but she didn't. Like we said, she said it started out, the fighting was about wood that was in the car. There was a pile of wood, some sort of wood that was in the car, and Josh was asking her where it was. So Caitlin said they both went outside, and he got mad and started yelling at her to get in the fucking house. Get in the fucking house because he couldn't find the wood, or he didn't like where the wood was, or she was supposed to know some abusive shit that he just wanted to make up. And like they said, he makes up reasons to get himself psychologically jacked up before a fight. There's a reason why I said that, and this is fucking why.
You didn't get the wood out of the car? You called calling me a faggot?
Yeah, you called me a faggot. Tommy, let's go outside. Caitlin, come on. I'm going to kick your ass. So this fucking asshole, she gets scared and she ran down the street in her underwear and hid under a bush and tried to hide from him in the neighborhood under a bush in the dark. This poor woman has to, like a fucking animal, she has to hide out there.
I can't imagine.
From a predator. Right. Literally. That's what this is going on.
Right.
Yeah, this is a legit animal situation here. So Josh ends up finding her in this bush, too. He ends up hunting her down, which must have been scary as he's walking up. Yeah. He then began punching her in the head right away. Grabbed her, yanked her out from the bush, and started punching her repeatedly in the fucking head. And then drags her back to their house and pulls her inside. So while walking her by the car, he punches the car too and fucks up the car because he's a fucking asshole. Right. Yeah. And while they were on the deck going into the house, he kicked out a few of the deck, the
posts,
like the little post things that come down in a deck, not the lattice, but like the little spindle things. Right. He kicked those out. He kicked those out too. He's all pissed off, obviously. This is about wood. This isn't about wood, obviously, but this is fucking ridiculous.
It's about a lunatic that can't keep his fucking attitude in check.
No, he can't. He has to take rage out somewhere. Right. He gets her inside the house and kept punching her and kicking her, she said, over and over and over.
What is he so mad about?
He's beating her. That's what I mean. This is about his life not turning out right and him possibly having brain damage and every other thing that has nothing to fucking do with her.
Right.
She hasn't caused this or done this to him or anything like that. I don't remember her causing any brain damage to him.
I don't know that she has some special magic that gives his dad cancer.
That's what I mean. She didn't do any of this. She didn't do any of this. She didn't cause him to be a jerk off as a kid. She didn't cause any of this shit.
Give him two beautiful kids.
That's it. So
lucky fuck.
He's yelling at her, quote, "You want me to fucking kill you?" is what he's yelling at her while he's beating her, apparently, and also told her that he was going to get someone to kill her father.
What?
So this is what...
Why is her dad involved?
I don't, because she likes her dad. So he's going to kill her dad, obviously. So he's on the ground and she's on the ground and Josh was pulling Caitlin up by the hair when she's on the ground. He kept punching her, she said, everywhere, and she finally made it into the bathroom. She said she pretended to go to the bathroom and had her phone, but then Josh, while she was in the bathroom, had Buddy the dog sick her and bite her behind her right thigh, puncturing the skin. Then Josh choked the dog out, not killed the dog, but choked the dog unconscious after that.
This is why the dog bites, you dickhead.
No, he trained the dog to do this, and then this is how he gets the dog to stop. He chokes she said he does this all the time. This is what, when he's training the dog, he'll get the dog to latch on and attack something and then have to choke it out to get it to stop. This is fucking insane. This is fucking insane.
That's ridiculous.
This man has children. He has fucking I'm so happy these kids are in this girl's mother's house.
James,
Holy
that man owns guns.
He owns guns and has children. He's a fucking psychopath.
Holy shit.
What an asshole. Yeah. So he choked the dog out and then took her cell phone to check to see if she had called for help or was calling illegal. For help, which is definitely illegal, which is you can add that to the mountain of fucking shit. At this point, she managed to get out of the bathroom while he was looking at the phone, and she ran down the street and ran and hid. They went in with the neighbor and all that. So Caitlin said about 2 weeks ago, Josh did the same thing with Buddy, the dog, and had her bite her in the right breast and back of her right side of her left thigh. She had bruising and scars from that they saw that were clearly bite marks. Right. She reported that Josh is always choking out the dog for some reason. This is fucking nuts. He practices choking out on this poor fucking animal, and I'm disgusted with this motherfucker right now. In addition to beating the shit out of his wife for no fucking reason.
Right. And those are they can be great dogs. This is why those dogs are pieces of
Eric
shit.
Eric is a great dog. Yeah. My in-laws have two awesome pets. They're fucking beautiful. They're the sweetest dogs in the world. If you don't train them don't train them to bite people and then choke them out afterwards.
We had two when I was a kid. One of them was a piece of shit that my stepfather used to rile up and beat on.
And fucking make him a shit dog.
Break the fence and go and kill neighborhood cats. Then we had another one that was a sweetheart, and Joey had killed a cat, and somebody threw poison over the fence for Joey.
That's terrible.
And the other one, Rocky, got it.
That's
Rocky
fucked
died.
up, man. Well, if that's not depressing enough, let's get back to this, which is just fucking awful here. Jesus Christ. She's over at the neighbor's house.
Right.
The neighbor gives Caitlin a pair of sweatpants to put on because she's in her fucking underwear. She said they've been married for 3 years. Then he asked about the kids. They said they have Josh Jr. and 1-year-old Grace. She also said that the kids are with the parents at this point.
Hold on.
Because of Josh's violence.
James.
What?
He has a James Jr.
No, he has a Joshua Jr.
A Josh Jr. and a
Grace. Yes. When I saw that too, I was so fucking mad that his daughter wasn't born first, because that was like right around. Yeah. That's where I could have made that Grace, when he has a daughter named Grace. All right. Now, you don't know how bad I wanted that. But he was already past Grace.
Still pretty amazing.
By the time his daughter was born, he had lost all those UFC fights, and it was no fucking fun anymore. He was past Grace. So.
He already set it up.
Yeah, I was really hoping. Fingers crossed. Damn it! I wish I wasn't. I didn't give a shit about being accurate, because I could have just made believe they were the other way around. But nope, can't do it.
And I credit it as your comedic fucking abilities that you didn't rely on bullshit to make a story.
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna fucking do? So the mother, Karen, pulls up at this point. Karen asked Caitlin where the dog was. Caitlin said that she didn't know, and they were going to go find him at the house. Caitlin was getting into the ambulance at this point, and she told her mother to go find the dog. She likes the dog, loves the dog. She doesn't blame the dog. Karen, the mother, says that she wants the animal control to take custody of Buddy, since it's not. Says she wants. It hasn't bitten Caitlin more than once. And she wants to get custody of this dog. The mother has also bred pit bulls and shit in the past, and she says she's very good with these dogs. So they end up.
The breed, it's the owner.
It's not the breed. Well, most of the time that's what it is. They had her fill out a statement again with a bandage on her hand and try to figure something out. They had the neighbor Ashley did a report. Also at this point they say that the neighbor says that she thinks that Caitlin and Josh have pigs in their basement.
Oh my god!
So they go looking. Let's find out what's in this fucking basement here. This basement's important because and according to her, it plays a very large role in their marriage. This basement.
My god!
It's fucking amazing.
Ugh.
So these two police go here. They go find Karen and Kim, who are the mother and sister. They're sitting in the kitchenette area. Karen said the house was open and she found Buddy inside in his crate shaking. Mm-hmm. So he was freaked out. Obviously, he was
ready to fight.
Or ready. They said he was just like hovering, like huddled and shaking because he had this poor dog.
He was just choked
out. He had to bite his own. Like, it's fucked up, man. She said, they asked Karen if she knows if Caitlin had any pigs. She said, yes, they're somewhere down in the basement. So now there's pigs in a basement, which is not a good snack at all. Much better in a blanket than a basement. So they go down to the basement.
Extreme white trash.
That's
snack.
very white trash.
In a basement.
That's pigs in a basement, buddy. That's good stuff.
You mean pigs in a blanket?
No, it's pigs in a single wide. It's very good. It's good. You're gonna like it.
It's buried under the double wide.
Oh, you gonna like it. It's good. Don't get me wrong now. They said they did find pigs. It was a cluttered basement down there. They walked down. It was very cluttered and messy. They walked over to a cabinet thinking it was the pigs and opened it, and it contained 11 marijuana plants growing under heat lamps. There was another taller cabinet that had a light coming from it. They opened that. They had another 9 plants growing inside there. So they did find the pigs behind a half door and observed 2 big teacup pigs back there.
Big.
Animal control took custody of the pigs and the dog Buddy. Also they called more people to say, hey, we got a weed growing operation here. Right. They were in plain view. They saw planting soil, Miracle Grow plant food, watering devices, timing and temperature gauges. He had a good little operation going on here. They found on the table a minigun, which was actually a lighter, and which isn't bad. Right next to it was a plastic knotted bag that contained a white powdery substance and a U.S. Magnum scale. They told them at this point to go upstairs and get Caitlin some clothes and shit.
Because she's going to be arrested now.
Do that shit. Well, no, they're not blaming her at this point. They go upstairs. They end up getting the mother gets or the sister, I'm sorry, gets a gym bag full of types of ammunition, all sorts of gun shit, then brings that to the cops too, because he was supposed to turn that ammunition over and never did, which was a problem. So they took that all into custody. Karen, the mother, reported that Caitlin told her Caitlin told the mother that and told the neighbor that Josh was home before the thing expired, actually, on the 3rd of August. This is a violation of the order. So they started booking Josh at that point for everything and that. They confiscated his iPhone with an OtterBox and told him they were going to get a search warrant for his phone to retrieve all of his text messages from his wife because they had quite the text exchange that we'll talk about in just a moment. Not really exchange. It's mainly one-sided, we'll say. It's him saying terrible shit to his wife. That's fucking horrible. So also they hear later on that Kim calls the police. Kim is the sister, calls the police and says that her and her mother were just leaving the hospital. They said that the hospital Section 12'd Caitlin due to being mentally unstable from the abuse. Yeah. So she's so fucking unstable, she's in the mental ward of the hospital. Because she can't even keep it together.
That's what this man did.
That's what he did. They said they believed her right wrist was broken and that she suffered a concussion. She was still waiting on CAT scans and X-rays when the sister left the hospital. They did also conduct a field test of the white powdery substance and cocaine, motherfucker. So he's on a bunch of coke and angry and all this shit. Yeah, this is all makes sense.
Growing weed, has pigs.
Yeah, well, they weighed the gram on his. They weighed it on his scale too. Might as well use his scale. It was 14.9 grams with the scale. So it's probably a heavy Ziploc bag packaging with a knot. So we're going to say it's a half ounce of coke he's got.
It's a lot.
It's a half ounce, probably 0.9 grams a bag, even if it was like a flimsy bag, not the Ziploc I meant. Well, those the sandwich bags that you'd have to tie instead of zip, those are like less than a gram. The other ones are like 2 grams.
Add some fucking weight.
2.3 ish, we'll say. I don't know how I know that. Just
a bad drug dealer would be off like that.
I've never done anything that has to do with that. So let's talk about these text messages here. These text messages, these are more like death threats.
Wow.
These are from the last week of their lives here. One, quote, "You're fucking dead." By the way, you're as you are.
Of course it is.
You're fucking dead, and if you even try and bring my kids into it, the worse it will be for you. And if you try to make a scene, I'll choke you unconscious and smash your throat. And if you get worse and run around after I'm going to if you go worse and run around after, I'm going to let Buddy have at you, and I'll walk out of the room.
Wow,
that's what he says.
Those are the threats.
Hard to read because there's no punctuation at all. So I'm trying to figure out where one sentence ends and one begins.
People are so lazy with text messages.
They are, and he's also a psychopath, so that doesn't help either. The ramblings of a fucking psychopath. He says, quote, he spells something wrong. I don't know what he's trying to say. "Don't something, you whore," is his first line. "Don't something, you whore. That's all you think about. You're a fucking scumbag piece of shit who I'm going to enjoy choking to death."
My Christ.
Wow. Then he says, as a follow-up, as an encore to that gem, he says, quote, "You better not be bluffing about cops because I don't joke. You're dead when I see you." Literally. He actually did an ellipses there too. "You're dead when I see you, ... Literally. No punctuation ever except for that. He wanted to make his fucking point. Quote, "I don't care. I'm going to beat you and throw you to Buddy. You're dead."
Wow.
So this is what he sent
I like how he's like, "I've seen 12 Angry Men, and I don't want you misconstruing that I'm just angry right now."
I'm not angry.
Saying you're dead.
No, I am.
You're legit.
Literally. Like I am going to murder you with my hands.
I'm going to choke the life out of
you.
you.
Did I mention have a dog bite you?
You will not breathe again.
Never.
And then Buddy will eat you.
Oh, yeah. So he says this now. The charges against him are assault and battery with a dangerous weapon, assault and battery, improper storage of firearms, possession of ammunition without a license, threats to commit a crime, malicious damage to a motor vehicle, intimidation of a witness, and attempt to procure another to commit perjury. Also, they end up charging him with some more shit later, like animal abuse and shit like that. Her father, Joe, says that Caitlin came back to the house after she left the hospital. She had a broken wrist and a concussion. He said, quote, "You read about stories in newspapers. We're not used to anything like this. There's no winners in this." They said that Caitlin never told him of any abuse. He said, quote, "I thought something was odd. I would just ask if everything was okay, and she would say everything is fine. She wouldn't tell me because she feared I would be killed." Some of the details that they said in the court court and watching somebody come out that I've laughed with and I've ate dinner with, that hurts too.
Yeah.
So I can imagine the neighbor, Ashley Gallagher, the one that she ran to, that Caitlin ran to, said that she would see the bruises sometimes, and Caitlin would tell this Ashley Gallagher that she tripped or that she hurt herself somehow.
You know, that old chestnut.
You know how that happens. Yeah. She said, quote, when the marks were more consistent, I said, you don't have to lie to me. I'm your friend. She said, I told her it's hard to leave and it's hard to start over, but I'm here for you. So she had people trying to help her, which is at least some comfort. She also said, the neighbor said, the community is rallying behind Caitlin. She said a contractor has offered to fix up parts of Caitlin's home, which have been undergoing renovations and have they stopped in true white trash fashion mid-renovation.
Halfway done.
Yeah. Others have donated halfway. That's what it was.
Worst.
No cabinets.
Right.
Like, oh, shit.
You got half your drywall up in a bathroom.
Oh, that's terrible.
The worst.
There's pipes in the wall. Other people have donated.
I'll get to it. I'll get the other one. The good one, don't stop there. Just keep going.
Keep going.
There's another one down there.
It's just, we need all of them done.
I want my guests shitting where I shit.
No. They've donated diapers, food, and other items here. The neighbor said the community is 100% behind her. She said she's happy she was on that porch that night. This Ashley, she said Caitlin might not be alive if I wasn't. This lady really pats herself on the back for really standing on a porch and calling 911.
I'm really glad I had that Pall Mall.
Really glad I was just had to have that, smoke that joint out there. She said, quote, I feel as if I'd been asleep that night, this would have been a much different story. I was meant to be awake that night. Stop inserting yourself in the fucking story.
Somebody tell whoever gives keys to the city about
Christ.
me.
Yeah, please, because I'm ready for one. Boy, I'm a prime candidate.
I'm awake all the time. That's what
all
it is.
All the time.
That's what it is.
I stay up late sometimes. Right. I'll help a neighbor.
So throw me that key.
You know what? How many more times am I going to be awake and a bloody person's going to run by and need help, and I'll call 911 every fucking time. Every fucking time. You can't stop me. No one can stop me.
You know how many horror movies I've seen where the people just don't open the door? I open the door. I'm friendly.
I'd never sleep.
Everybody's welcome.
I never sleep. My door's always unlocked also.
I have the Statue of Liberty's quote above my door.
Above my door. I keep it unlocked. Right. Also a trail of food leading in. It's a nice trail of food. I use like a fun-sized Snickers bar. A fun-sized Snickers bars.
Sometimes I leave a whole turkey out there.
It happens. People come. I also get a lot of cats, but that's going to happen. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. Abused women and cats. Those are the two things I mainly get.
That's what stays here.
So October 10th, 2014, Josh is now facing more charges. These include animal cruelty, more assault and battery with a dangerous weapon, which is a dog now, in addition to other things that he hit her with. Also 6 counts of witness intimidation from August 18th to August 8th to the 18th. He also committed 2 counts of tampering with a record for use in an official proceeding and 1 count of attempting to procure another to commit perjury. So he's trying to get people to lie. Yeah. He's trying to get rid of text records. Yeah. He's trying to do shit like that. Not great. No. Things aren't going well for him here. It gets worse while this isn't for him.
For like an incredibly long stretch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? With the drugs, with the dogs.
Oh, absolutely. There's so much.
The pigs alone
is... The beatings of this woman,
some sort of
violence. It's crazy. The whole thing's fucking nuts.
Why would you want pigs in your basement?
I have no idea. Not in your basement, not outside or something. People keep them inside. I know. I don't know, but
I think it's a cool pet.
Kind of fucked up.
Like trapping it downstairs. That's
just
animal
in a little
abuse.
Pen in a basement. That sounds like it sucks. But August 10th, 2014, Buddy, the bull terrier, the pit bull here, he's probably, they're saying, possibly going to get put down.
Oh no.
They're saying that an animal cruelty expert from the People for Ethical Treatment of Animals from PETA said that the alleged mental and physical trauma the dog has endured, euthanizing Buddy might be the best thing for him. He said, quote, there's a point where euthanasia could be the best outcome for Buddy. After all this dog has gone through, euthanasia isn't the worst thing that could have happened to him. Jesus. He's already gone through the worst that he could go through. Jesus.
PETA.
Fuck, man.
I thought PETA was for the ethical treatment. What is this?
I'd like to see what they say of death row inmates. Listen, he's been through the worst already. Just stick a needle in his arm while he sleeps. Fuck, man.
Wow.
Karen, the mother, Caitlin's mother, said she's hoping Buddy wouldn't have to be euthanized. She said Buddy's a good dog and was a gentle dog and loving to the kids and to Caitlin. She said, quote, Josh made him afraid and he listened. When he wasn't around, Buddy was a family dog to Caitlin and the kids. He was gone all day, and when she was home all day with the kids and the dog, there was never a problem. They said that...
as far as I'm concerned, that's a great dog. He
listens. Cool dog. Yeah, he listens. He's a good dog.
The man tells him, eat somebody that you love, and it does it.
And it does it. That's
a loving animal.
It's a loyal dog, man. This woman said that she raised Buddy as a puppy because she bred and trained these bull terriers or pit bulls for 11 years. She said she trained Buddy to compete in dog shows and said that she would never be able to do that with an aggressive or a vicious dog that's just like that temperamentally. Sure. She said, quote, I bred him and brought him to shows. He was a champion dog. You can't have a dog with a bad temperament compete in shows. The judges need to open their mouths and look at their teeth. Fair enough. They said there's no definitive plan for the dog. He's quarantined right now. There's no definitive plan. They said they're going to have a dog trainer evaluate him and said that he's not a bad and vicious dog, like we said. The mother said, I would want him to go with someone that was a professional trainer to work with the dog. So that's what's going on there. Yeah. Now let's find out what Caitlin thinks about this whole thing. Because, I mean, after this last bout, she can't be as think he's going to get better. Yeah. You know what I mean? She says that she loves her husband. Yeah. She says, quote, my husband's a great father and my kids miss him so much. She said, it's so hard. My son's birthday is tomorrow. It's just rough. She said they've been talking by telephone nearly every day while he's been in jail. Yeah. He's being held on like $200,000 bail, by the way. So he's in the joint for a while. She said it's sad because they're making it out to be way crazier than it was.
No, they're not.
She also says, they said that this is the reporter that was interviewing her said there was a visible bruise on her upper left arm and puncture wounds on her legs that you could see. Yeah. She said that she got a spray tan just so she could cover up the day before. She said she went to Walmart the other day and I was sitting there and I noticed everyone staring at me.
That's when you know life's
fucked up. Yeah.
People at Walmart are staring at you.
That's a problem. That just might mean that you were the only one there that's taken a shower in the last 4 days.
That's one or the other option. You're either fucking like the queen or something, or
which means you're a 6,
right? Or you're like a negative 30.
Yeah, or you're a negative 30. No, this poor woman, though, she can't even go to... And who knows if they were looking at her, she just felt like everyone knows, because that's how I would feel. Yeah. Like that's rough.
She's got dog bites on her thigh. They were probably trying to figure out the kind of dog. Is that a German Shepherd?
What is that?
What do you think that is?
He said, tick hound? You using tick hound? She said, quote, it's about his name with the I don't know. It's about his name with the UFC.
Jesus.
It's not Caitlin Grispi with my picture getting domestically abused. I would like to see how many domestic abuse cases happen in Middleborough. How come they don't get any of this attention? How come it's only me?
Because you got beat up by a UFC fighter.
She also thinks that her husband's aggression may be a result of concussions he suffered.
I don't disagree.
She said I told him today that he needs to be evaluated with a CAT scan to see what's going on up there. Yeah. They're going to see fucking tumbleweeds blowing through there. She said, yes.
Tick hound running around.
Tick hounds. Woo. She said, yes, what he did was wrong. That it is wrong to put your hands on a girl, and I understand and I know that. She said, but he's a good person. Yeah. Then she downplayed everything. She said, quote, behind closed doors, everyone has a fight. Maybe not that far, but everyone's going to fight. Every marriage has its problems. Does that mean you give up on it? When they chase you down the street, yank you from a bush by your hair and pummel you, and have their dog bite you, you give up on it.
Dog bite you so frequently he had to choke it the fuck out.
Let's say I feel horrible for Caitlin, obviously, and no one deserves this, but she is a very, very, very strong contender for the 2018 Shayna Mayfield award for the most supportive wife in circumstances that don't warrant it.
How do you apologize for a man's actions through blood in your teeth?
She's going to win a scummy, this one, big time. This poor girl. Holy fuck, her poor woman.
Christ.
She says...
see, this is what happens when you're 13 and you start dating a man. You stay with him your whole life, and you're so fucking wrapped up in the man that you can't take a hint of you were punched.
Yeah.
You were beaten. and you can't get to fuck it? How do you not get to fuck it by now?
How?
How do you not throw your hands up and go, I'm taking the kids?
Fuck it, we're going. Well, that's at 13. They got together when they were 13. That's got to have something to do with it.
Still wearing Hannah Montana PJs.
During this interview, she's standing next to his brother, hanging out there. His brother said, quote, "No one can picture Joshua doing this. The family can't picture him doing this. I can't picture the scene that was painted, and obviously the family loves her." Basically, I think she's full of shit, but I mean, we're still supporting.
Standing right next to her.
Yeah.
We can't picture it because none of us have any creativity in our brain. We see a bloodied fucking woman that says he did it. We can't picture it. Can't do it.
She also says, quote, "I want my dog back." She said, she wants the dog back. She said that that's not his fault. She said that she's looking to God to get her through everything. She said why she considers staying with her husband, and she said, quote, "I love him. I do love him. I can get past that if he can get help. I know it can get better because I know who he is." Right. Yes, a crazy
We're Southies,
person.
goddammit.
We're Southies. Ride or die, motherfucker. So, August 20th, 2014, she puts out a GoFundMe campaign for her rent. Yeah. She said that her children are in her mother's custody. Her dog is fucking locked up. Her husband's locked up. Everyone's locked up.
I don't have pigs and weed to sell.
She's got pigs and weed and coke and things. Guns are everywhere. Right. She said, quote, "Hi," this is on her GoFundMe. "Hi, my name is Caitlin Grispi, and I started this fund in hopes for my family to pay bills and so my kids and myself can keep our home while we recover from this domestic abuse. I was a stay-at-home mom, and now I'm left with my 2 kids to support, and I'm in need of help to pay my bills and mortgage till I find myself a job. And I hate asking in this time, but I need to do this for my family. My kids don't deserve this situation. Thank you. I can do all this through Christ, who strengthens me, and I will thank you for your love and support."
Oh, fuck.
Yes, it is GoFundMe.com. In Christ. So if
we got 45s in fucking Cool Whip, we got pigs and weed. We're super religious.
Did I mention
now.
Jesus?
We're so religious.
I have a personal, real tight relation. As a matter of fact, we sell him coke. Did I mention that? We sell him weed.
We had half an ounce for him.
She said, quote, "I never deserved to have the children taken from me. I'm a good mom," which she might be.
Probably are.
You can go to GoFundMe.com/Grisby -family. They said there. She said that at that point she was $4,000 behind on mortgage, and she's fucked basically. The GoFundMe's still up.
Is it really?
And she reached $1,030 of her $5,000 goal.
Wow,
that's all that ever got reached.
I'm going to give her $50.
I feel terrible for this woman right now. People maybe give her a couple bucks.
I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna sign it. Don't go back.
Yeah, please don't. Now MMA fighters start weighing in on this, and they start saying, "This is fucking funny," because this is the same time War Machine shit was coming out 2014. Which, don't worry, we'll talk about fucking War Machine. We'll get there. One guy says Luke Rockhold. I don't know who that is, but that's his name, Rockhold, and you're an MMA fighter. He says, "I mean, it's stupid to link that kind of thing to MMA."
He started his statement with, "I mean,
come on." That's like a smirk, and I mean, Jesus. His shoulders shrugged. I mean, give me a fucking break. It's stupid to link that to MMA. I mean, you've got football players and other people getting away with murder and shootings and gangbangs. I don't think he meant to say that.
No.
They're getting away. Murders and shootings and gangbangs are way different things. If it's voluntary, one, I suppose, could be a beautiful experience for all involved if they like it. The rest of them, nothing.
What he said was, I mean, we have Aaron Hernandez, because that's who he meant.
That's who he meant.
He didn't mean anybody else.
At that point, too. He said they're putting a microscope on us for a couple of delinquents in our sport. Come on.
You're putting the microscope on the NFL for one, you dick.
No shit. Then he said there's a lot of punks anywhere in life, and they're going to be who they are.
Yeah.
Then he said there's a lot of educated people in MMA and a lot of sharp, very intelligent people.
No, there's not.
I don't know about that. So, he went a little far there.
This guy I want to hang out with.
You flew a little too close to the sun there, Luke Rockhold. Tyrone.
Luke is a dummy.
He's a dummy. Tyrone Ron Woodley said, quote, "Yeah, to be honest, our world in general is a pretty fucked up place to be right now. I'm looking at the internet and I'm seeing all this riot and stuff and freaking overseas wars and domestic violence and police brutality." He tried to lump that in with just the craziness of the world, that a particular guy in your particular business beats the shit out of his particular wife.
Right.
The fuck out of here.
Yeah, there's a war in Iraq and shit.
You know how it goes. And people get beat up. Things happen all over the place.
There's a lunatic in North Korea. Did you hear about that?
Fuck, man. So, Jesus Christ.
This is awesome.
This is crazy.
Wait till you guys find out about the election in 2 years.
Oh, you're going to hate it. That's going to be, you're going to go, what? So he pleads not guilty in October. They're saying at this point, though, she's not really willing to testify against him. So that's kind of a deciding factor whether the case is even going to go forward, because they said it's going to be very hard to convict him if the one witness isn't saying that she's a witness. If it's just other people. Yeah. They said, this is the district attorney here said, quote, in Massachusetts, there's something called a marital privilege where a person cannot be compelled to testify against their spouse, which is interesting. If the witness wants to invoke their marital privilege, that witness is no longer available to them, and the district attorney has to determine whether they have enough evidence to move forward.
Oh, the Clintons.
Yeah. He said the alleged victim in this case has recanted what occurred, has done everything to indicate she wants to be a family together. She wants to be with him. So that's tough at that point. The district attorney said, quote, there have been multiple phone calls from the defendant while incarcerated to the alleged victim, in which he tells her to destroy evidence such as emails, pictures, text messages. Even after multiple discussions about how he injured her and how he was sorry and how he would behave better, he told her on 2 separate occasions to sign an affidavit saying nothing happened and to give those affidavits to the district attorney, her office, and to the court. So, wow. They also, the judge, the district attorney asked the judge to enact a no contact order between him and his wife, and the judge denied it and said, quote, I'm not going to order that. If they want to talk, that's up to them. October 2014, they go on Dr. Phil.
What?
This is when you know it's gone.
Get the fuck out of here.
This is the craziest fucking... I advise everyone to watch Dr. Phil only for this episode, because I hate Dr. Phil. We've talked about him a million fucking times. He's the worst. This one, you're actually on his side, where you're like, man, Dr. Phil, boy. The show...
How white trash are they? From Walmart to Dr. Phil?
To Dr. Phil. Yeah, well, that's classier than Jerry Springer. It's 2014 version of a classy Jerry Springer. They showed the pictures of her with bumps and bruises and all that. Josh says he could not speak. By the way, this is via satellite from jail. Oh, boy. He's doing this interview. And she's there live. Her mother's there on Dr. Phil, not in jail. He said he couldn't speak about how she got those injuries because he had a, quote, open case. Then he said, quote, my mother-in-law is the one who called the cops on me. She's trying to take my children away from me because she has some sort of control issue. My mother-in-law is trying to ruin my reputation because it makes me look like a violent person because I'm a professional fighter.
All right.
So it looks like I like to hit and beat up people. My mother-in-law is trying to ruin my life.
So mother-in-law beat the fuck out of her daughter and said,
then,
you did it?
And then trained the dog to bite her. Yes, because she is a trainer. She knows how to do it. Now, Caitlin. Yeah. Caitlin, this is on national fucking television. This is unreal. Admits that he hit her. Okay. Then she starts making excuses on TV. This is the saddest fucking... Dude, this is so sad. You just want to reach out and grab her by the cheeks and go, please stop, please. Oh, my God.
Is Dr. Phil just standing there with his mouth open?
It's okay. Just don't talk anymore. Don't talk anymore. She says that he hits her because, quote, she's Italian and she's mouthy and, quote, doesn't know when to shut up sometimes.
Wow.
She's Italian and mouthy and doesn't know when to shut up sometimes. As a man who grew up around a few Italian women, I get it. Trust me. Never hit any of them,
Don't get to hit them.
You can't hit them. They do not know when to shut the fuck up, ever. Italian people. Never mind the women, all of them. Trust me. So she also then said that, and this is the saddest thing ever, quote, tons of women in their town get beat up by their spouses.
Wow.
That's the thing where she's trying to say, why isn't that all report? Everyone gets beat up. This is like the 60s. Everyone gets smacked around. Sure, Don Draper hit me a couple of times, but it was when I needed. I was getting mouthy. You know me, I'm Italian. You know us Italians. We don't know when to shut up. We're mouthy.
She said eye ties, didn't she?
Yeah. So she then said, quote, fuck, man. She said that she wanted to keep her marriage together. The abuse is not an everyday thing. She said she doesn't think anyone deserves to be hit, and that's what her husband thinks too.
Yeah.
She said people make mistakes. Do I judge anyone else's life? No. Well, no one's judging you.
Nobody deserves to get hit. He believes that.
Believes
the man's
that too.
A fighter.
The man's a fighter.
He
hits everybody. He said, when Dr. Phil is talking to Josh about it, he said, quote, "But it takes two. Me and my wife have known each other for our whole lives. We've been dating since we were 13, and maybe we got too comfortable."
Yeah.
If you call elbow strikes to the face comfortable, I'd say probably yes, that's comfortable at that point. Caitlin got pissed off when she was questioned further about the abuse, and actually walked off the show for a minute after her mother yelled at her. So that happened. Her mom says, quote, "Right now she's gone through so much abuse that she can't admit the truth. That's the reason why we're here today. I'm afraid for her life." So they're there. Now she has another reason. She comes back out and says, this is bonkers, okay? Yeah. She's Italian, mouthy, doesn't know when to shut up, and everybody gets beat up. These are the excuses so far.
Those are
now
amazing.
She takes it to another level of excuse making. Okay, this will win her the Scummy for the Shayna Mayfield Award, because this is fucking nuts, and I feel so bad for this fucking woman. Wow. She says that they got into arguments because she was sure that their Massachusetts home that they had moved into the year before was haunted.
Okay.
That's why they got into arguments.
And that's why she's
because
mouthy.
of the haunted. No. But that's why they got into arguments. She said that Josh had started acting differently since they moved into the house. She's got an Amityville situation here. She
so
said
he's possessed.
No. She said, quote, "Josh kept telling me to ignore the house being haunted, and I couldn't. It became an obsession. Josh had good reason to hit me. I wouldn't stop talking about the ghosts."
Oh my God.
That's what she said. She literally said, "I wouldn't shut up about these fucking ghosts. He had no choice but to hit me."
He
That's
had
what
to
she
stick
said.
the dog on me.
Where do you even start with that? Imagine you're Dr. Phil.
No,
as big of an asshole he is.
He's got a tough job now.
Because this poor woman is obviously in pain, and obviously there's something wrong, and obviously she needs help.
Right.
And she's on television trying to say that the ghosts made her husband beat her up.
Well, at this point, I don't feel bad for Dr. Phil at all, because he's going, these ratings are going to be crazy.
This is going to be amazing. MMA is very popular nowadays. So she said she was sure the place was haunted.
And ghosts?
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. She said she was positive it was haunted. They found baby food jars filled with hair and papers with names on them in the basement, and their son saw a figure in the home who resembles the man who died there.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
She also said that her son once seemed to be picked up from the floor into his crib by a, quote, unknown force.
Wow.
Also, she said that her husband had been acting oddly ever since moving into the house and spent a lot of time in the basement, much like the man who lived there previously.
Who died there.
So she says, quote, "What I thought is maybe whoever died in my house was having an impact on my husband because he was doing strange things that he normally wouldn't do."
Yeah.
Dr. Phil, for the first time in his life, said something intelligent, and he said maybe he was spending more time in the basement because that's where they found all the drugs, which is the only intelligent thing anyone said for the last 2.5 fucking hours. This is the first smart thing anyone goddamn said down there. Maybe he was doing drugs down there.
I've never heard of a ghost that was so caring about a baby that it put it in the fucking
just
crib.
put it in the crib.
Well,
it's nice.
Here's where this goes.
He is. But they're leaving everything around, laying all over. I'm going to trip and fall.
Somebody's going to trip over this baby.
So she agrees on the show to undergo counseling.
Yeah,
and,
thank Christ.
And
Dr. Phil was like, listen,
we'll find out
lady.
about this, though. He promised to pay for professional help for all of them and all this sort of thing. However, after that, she said about Dr. Phil, quote, "He had his points and whatnot, but I wasn't there for Dr. Phil. I was there to get my point out that my husband's a good guy.
And to get paid from Dr. Phil.
Not a good guy." She also said that she was, quote, "kind of disappointed that the episode was preempted by tributes for former Boston Mayor Thomas Menino, who recently passed away." So the local market that didn't even get to air all the way here. She says she plans to stand by Josh as he nears court. She says, quote, "There is one side, me and Josh's. That's it." So she's
oh my god,
she's not there.
First, she doesn't know how to speak English.
No, and second,
mine is the word.
November 6, 2014, they put Buddy down.
Oh no!
So Buddy is killed. So one more tragic loss here. Buddy is killed.
That's our casualty this week.
That's the casualty here. Josh is then his bail is somehow lowered to $25,000, and he is released from jail. Somehow gets that up.
Yeah.
Terms of his release require that he has no contact with his wife. He wears a monitoring device, GPS, and remains drug and alcohol free, and follows a curfew of 8 a.m. to 8 p.m.
Okay.
He can only go out during the day. So now he can't go home.
Right.
Now he's out of jail.
Right.
He's not armed.
No,
he's wandering.
thank God.
He's wandering the fucking streets from 8 to 8, and then I assume he's staying with his brother or his family.
Yeah.
I guarantee you that he's still fucking seeing her, and she's still seeing him. They're blowing right past that. But from 8 to 8, he's like Bubbles on the wire when his sister won't let him in the house when she's not there, so he has to sit in the park all fucking day and wait for her to come home, and then he's allowed to go in the basement with the door locked. Well, he was a junkie, and he's ripped her off before.
Yeah.
He one time cleaned out her whole house, sold all her appliances and everything. So she doesn't believe that Bubbles is making a comeback every time, but Bubbles actually, I won't tell you what happens.
There's an adult man named Bubbles.
Bubbles, yeah, and he's a junkie, so he's the big great character. So Josh is just sitting there like Bubbles, looking at smelling the air and looking at things and going, this is great to be out of jail. And then he hears some dogs barking, and he's like, Buddy? And he turns, and it's not Buddy. It is Bobby Colorado, animal trainer from Fredericksburg, Texas. And he says, oh, how is it you come to arrive here? What the fuck is wrong? Hey, I don't want to hear. I don't even want to hear how you come to arrive here. First of all, you fucking jerk off. You're an asshole.
I heard about you.
Listen, I train fucking dogs, all right? You don't train dogs to bite women, especially your fucking wife. What fuck is wrong with you,
I
huh?
mean,
Come on. Where am I from? That's none of your fucking business. I'm not from the Northeast. Let's just say that and leave it at that, all right? I'm from Fredericksburg, Texas.
Right.
That's how it works out. Let's get back to you fucking asshole. Nah, you can't pet my fucking dogs. No, I'm going to teach my dogs to bite you, you motherfucker. Tell you what, you'll be here in the park next week, same place. I'm going to have my dogs fucking bite you because you deserve it. I don't want to catch you around here ever fucking again. Ever again, you get the fuck out of here. No dogs for you. No, you can't buy one of them either. I know they're beautiful. Get the fuck out of here. Come on. And then the dogs bark, and poof. Josh is very surprised in a poof of marinara sauce and dog shit. He's gone. And Josh is very depressed about his lack of freedom and dog.
And canine, what's the
canine
word?
Companionship.
Companion.
Now, it's at this very moment in 2016 when he's at his lowest point, then that Jens Pulver, there's an article called Former UFC Champ Jens Pulver Brings Message of Hope, where he goes around the country giving motivational speeches to underprivileged kids for free.
Wow.
To tell them that he came from a horrible place and they can overcome it if they just give it their all and don't give in to the pressures of the world.
And he's doing that for a tax write-off.
And this fucking jackass is out here. And this idiot's going to trial instead.
Right. He's going on Dr. Phil for money.
Yeah. God damn it. They go to trial. They tell everything. They say that, she says that she told people he's going to kill me. They talk about the abuse. Everything we just talked about is talked about in the trial. The district attorney says, quote, she gets up there and protects him. She says she admits that she and Josh on August 4th were arguing. She admits that she was in the bushes. She admits she had a handprint on her arm. She admits that Josh hit her and left a pretty sizable, hit her car and left a pretty sizable dent. She admits going into the house with him. She admits that no one else in the house was in but her and the dog and the defendant. She admits they argued in the home, and she admits that she fled the home crying in an underwear and a tank top, but she won't say that he hit her. Also, people, a friend of Josh Grispi and his sister testified for the defense. They said that they were at a cookout the day before, and that's when the dog bit Caitlin Grispi by just messing around at a cookout bit her. She must have had some hamburger meat on her leg or something there. His attorney says, quote, where's the evidence supporting their case? Where is it? Where's the bruising? Black and blues don't come up right away. Things that come up over time, consistent with being bitten by Buddy the dog long before. Also, he's beating her all the time. So I don't even want to hear that shit. Nurses testified from the hospital that she was tearful and very upset, and testified testified about her injuries and all that sort of thing. They said, though, they can't protect her if she doesn't want to be protected. It goes to the jury. It's 7 women and 5 men on this jury. He is initially indicted on 36 charges. There was
Good Christ.
34 remained after closing arguments. 6 were dismissed by the judge after the state rested, and the jury has to decide on 28 charges: assault and battery with a deadly dangerous weapon, assault and battery, improper storage of firearms. You get the idea. Permission, malicious damage to motor vehicles. 5 hours of deliberation.
Yeah.
And he is found guilty.
Yes.
7 counts of improper storage of a firearm, 5 counts of assault and battery, 2 counts of threatening to commit a crime, 8 counts of witness intimidation, possession of marijuana with intent to distribute, malicious damage to a motor vehicle, and attempt to procure perjury.
Ouch.
2017 in June is sentencing. The district attorney's office is requesting 8 to 10 years in state prison.
Yeah.
The judge considers this and says, Mr. Grispi, you, sir, may fuck off, and he gives him 5.5 years in prison, which isn't a lot, but it's still 5.5 years in prison, and then 5 years probation afterwards.
Oh, that's great.
So don't worry, he'll be
go
back. He'll go back to prison. Yeah,
he'll reviolate.
You know it. There's no doubt. The district attorney says, quote, domestic violence cases are difficult to prosecute and involve particularly vulnerable sets of victims. And this case was no different. There was a severe case of abuse, not only the physical injuries Mr. Grispi inflicted, but the emotional abuse of isolating the victims from the family. I'm hopeful that with the time in jail and proper programming, Mr. Grispi can learn to control his anger and emotions and become a productive member of society.
Really?
That's what the DA said. And please, Jesus Christ, everybody out there, we've said it in all these goddamn episodes. If there's anything going on, you need fucking help. Try to get help. It's scary. We know it. We don't know shit about it. Obviously, we're fucking dudes and we're not. We don't know, but I don't know. Look, someone will help. Hopefully, try, look for something. I don't know. We don't know the solution, but please don't stay and get killed by these assholes. That's all we can say. Please find a way. Can't get enough Josh Grispi?
I sure can.
Follow him on Twitter. He's still on there. He's in prison now, but
he'll be out soon. That account's about to fucking light up.
Yeah, he follows 161 people, has 5,879 followers.
That is impressive.
930 tweets. He hasn't tweeted since June 3rd, 2014, and he's fucking verified.
What?
And we're not.
No.
Eat shit, motherfucker. Twitter, you no-count cocksuckers. Are you fucking kidding me, dude?
He's verified with 5,000.
He's a fucking domestic, violent, asshole, dog-abusing piece of fucking garbage shithead who's in fucking prison, who has half the followers we have, and we can't get verified, and they do. Fuck you. You can donate to his wife's GoFundMe, like we said, if you want to do that, and pray for the soul of poor Buddy. Other than that, that is Josh Grispi. That is Crime in Sports. That's a fucked up, crazy story.
Unbelievable.
Ghosts made him abuse his... the ghost made me beat her is going to be the name of the title.
This is the
I don't know what else to fucking say.
That ghosts made them do something.
Well, demons in the air conditioning was like Iabuchi.
Right.
That was just why he was crazy. But this is particular ghosts are possessing him, I guess, and
forcing his hand.
If you like that show and you're insane, which if you don't like that show, I don't know what the hell is wrong with you, because that was goddamn fun and funny. It was a terrible crimes that happened, but we did our best with it. If you like that show, please get on iTunes and tell us all about it. Give us 5 stars. Tell us you're following instructions, following directions. Go to shutupandgivememurder.com. You can follow us on social media there. All the links are there at Crime and Sports on all the different sites. You can also order at shutupandgivememurder.com. You can order all your t-shirts and look at all of our stuff there and tour dates and everything like that. If you want to be a huge superstar, giant, you can also find these links through shutupandgivememurder.com. You will find links to patreon.com/crimeinsports, where you can make a donation, and PayPal, where you can make a one-time donation using our email address, crimeinsports@gmail.com. And that said, Jimmy, I would like you to hit me with, but don't let the dog bite me, with the entire list of the most wonderful, fantastic people on earth. Jimmy, hit me with it now.
This week's executive producers, fucking every week, is Christina Cristaldi.
Thank you so much,
Chrissy. Brinley, what does that say? Richardson. Brinley Richardson and Elin Warren.
Thank you so much.
Thank you both very much.
We can't thank you enough, honestly.
They're in the same house, so thank you both.
You keep the lights on. We appreciate it so much.
And Teresa Lazari, thank you guys.
Thank you,
guys
Teresa.
are fucking amazing. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Truly.
On the bottom of our hearts, we can't thank you enough.
Honest to goodness.
Our children, thank you. Thank you.
Gavin McFarland, Todd Crago, who actually indeed is white. Zulamar Lucina obviously is not. Jess Mullins, Temry Iverson, or Temer?
Oh, yeah. I saw on
sure
Twitter.
What she is. Or how
Twitter. I saw her, yeah.
I don't know how to pronounce that.
I don't either.
Nathan
but thank
Little, Justin Luetger. It's got to be Luetger.
We'll take it.
Surely.
Thank you.
Tina Leary, she donated on both. Thank you so much, Tina.
Well, thank you. That's heroic
Alex
behavior.
East and Ashley. I don't know what Ashley's last name is. I'm assuming
Thanks,
East.
Ashley.
I'm assuming.
All right, Alex and Ashley.
Melissa Tuttle. Kaylin Owen says happy birthday to Liz and Maggie. Luz and Maggie.
Happy birthday.
Listen, I'm not good at reading these fucking donations, comments. I treat them much like iTunes reviews. Where I don't get to read the words. So sometimes I do, and I catch the ones that tell me to do something, and so the ones that I don't, fucking sorry.
Sorry about that. We try.
I got your name, though. Somebody donated last week, wanted me to wish happy birthday to somebody, and I got the donator, but not the person.
It's so hard enough just to produce 5 hours of show every week. To stay on top of all this shit is really difficult.
Brutal.
So we truly apologize, and we try our best, and we will try harder. We always will. We're trying. We're trying as hard as we can. We're
Holy
trying.
Shit, digging deeper is going to be tough. But thank you,
tough.
Ashley Boxler, Kara Simono. Yes, she donated on both also. Thank you.
Thank you so
much.
much.
And so did Zach Cornell. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you,
Zach. Ben Brixius. God damn it. I'm doing my best. Nick Laycock, Cherie Holland, Sarah D'Antonio. Yes.
Thank you.
Ryan Baylor, Nicolette Kiseleff. That's a fucking...
That's got some rhythm to it.
Yeah.
Nicolette Kiseleff. That sounds like a song. Yeah, that sounds like a song. That sounds like a Miami Sound Machine song.
That's beautiful. Shane Irish.
Gloria Stefan's going to fucking flare that shit.
Garrett Belcher, Danielle Stevens, Emmanuel Alexander, who goes by Dub, which doesn't make any fucking sense.
Thank you, Dub.
Good for you, Dub.
We appreciate it.
Jeremy Sturk, Jessica Fabian, William Towns, Laura Souter. Yes. Ariana Folsom. I don't know. Google her. That's what she wants you guys to do.
Well, Google away.
Google Ariana Folsom. Tarabusi Creek, they make those fucking amazing soaps.
Yes,
Thank you guys
they do.
so
Much. Sarah's been...
They're great people.
Yeah, she's always
really
getting
great.
soap, and they're awesome people. Thank you.
And then the lady that owns it got her Facebook hacked, and they sent me weird messages.
That sucks.
Kate Ives, James Aselta, Paul Ruest, of course.
Paul,
you're terrific.
Guy. Thank
you. Jake LeBeer, Richard Stevenson, Joel Bonner, Joaquim Stanford. He said his name is Joachim. I think he's fucking with me.
Maybe that's
like
how he
Joaquim.
wants to pronounce it. What do you know?
Mr. Stanford.
What do you know, Yimmy Wisman?
True.
Who knows? We could pronounce that.
Lincoln Weniger, Amanda McKelvey, William Mellinson, Brian. Oh, that's Bill Mellinson over there in
Bill.
Boston. Enjoy this show, Bill.
Yeah, thank you.
Bryant Toole, Jesse Hartman, Kate Myers, Catherine Collado, Jennifer Lamb, Tracy Selfridge, Sam Ballard, Doug Connell. Yes. Louise Rayfield, Amy Crawford. Yes. Chuck Cook, Laura Williams, Tina Leary. I think I said her. Thank you so much, Tina. Yeah, she donated on both.
Thank you, Tina.
Brian Ford, Philip Close, Denny Sheeran, or Deny. No, it's Denny, right? Not Deny. Denny?
Sure.
Probably.
Denny.
CJ Richards. Fiennes? No last name.
Fines?
Maybe that's the last name.
Hey.
I don't know.
We'll see.
Kyle Rund. Or Roud. Rude. R-U-U-D.
That's a cool name.
That's right.
It's a cool last name.
Austin Bollinger. Oh, you know what? You said somebody rude in this show.
Roop.
And
And you
I was
automatically...
like, that rings a bell.
I've seen that name
That's
before.
That's because of Kyle today.
I've written that name down. I thought of that too,
You're welcome,
and I didn't
Kyle.
say it. But when you said that name, I was like, is that where Jimmy got that before? But I didn't want to dig too deep.
Boy, am I dumb.
That's awesome.
Jason Lipton, Kristen Clementi, Leisha Sincox, Wendy Postel. I don't know if that's a D or a P. I'm an idiot. Shannon Russell, Tim Wooten, Robert Wayne, Justin Passifaro. Passifaro.
Okay.
That's a tough last name.
It is.
Laura Williams, Samuel Miller, Christina Punt, Daniel Merrifield, Andrew Dupuis,
cool.
Bobby with no last name, Ron Bosch, but it's Bobbie, so that's a check, right?
That's check. Usually, thank you.
Unless the family was trying to be fucking clever like mine.
Exactly.
Right?
Who knows? I would have think that you would be a woman.
I fucking hate my name. Steve McTeague, Colin Scott Bitter, Sarah Lewis, Jeremy Parenti, Callie Ander, Sean Tomlinson, Joseph Gillespie, Matthew Long Ryan, Katie Taylor, Brittany Newman, William. Oh, this one's fucking amazing. Wilhelm Rudolph Katzel.
Wow.
The third.
That's amazing.
Fucking yeah.
Wow, you should own a toy store. That sounds like...
There are 3 of those people.
Wow. Sweet. Right? That sounds like he owns an eccentric toy store owner. He's like Willy Wonka with toys.
And it's the Katzel. Katzl. That's what they calls the store.
Yeah, Katzels.
For sure.
Yeah.
Edgar Scott Robinson, Creativity Blender, and Amber Rachel. Thank you guys so much.
Did
I get Colin Mansfield? I did,
if
right?
Not,
I think
you got
so.
him now.
There he is.
Thank you guys.
You guys are amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys so much.
It's fucking amazing.
Thank you. It's huge every week. And like we said, soon we'll be able to tell you exactly how huge and our circumstances, but it really, really keeps the lights on. So thank you guys for everything you do. We really, really do appreciate every single dime. And what if somebody appreciated every dime that you had, Jimmy? How could they tell you about it?
You can find me at Wisman Sucks, WHISMAN Sucks on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat. Thank you guys for everything, especially the guy that sent me this week that we have an update for Big John Dunaway.
He's dead.
Yeah,
Big Jim Dunaway.
Big Jim's
dead.
Yeah.
So that wife-murdering asshole's dead.
Biggin, who was the fucking worst thing to research.
That's right. It was so hard. So fucking hard. I had to dig up old newspaper archives. It was insane. I had to dig. That was the hardest
It's like you had
research.
to drag a woman out of a half-empty pool,
yeah,
right?
It was kind of like killing a woman and then convincing everyone that I didn't leave her corpse in a half-empty pool. You know how it goes there. So that's that. If you want to follow me, it's at Jimmy P is funny, or just copy and paste my last name from the show description. Don't try to be a hero because you will hurt yourself without a goddamn doubt. That said, Jimmy, I think it's time to go. I think we have laid down the gauntlet today, and I am happy about it, and I had a great time. We hope you had a great time live from the Crime and Sports Studios. We will see you next week.
Bye.
If you like crime and sports, you can listen early and ad-free now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts. Prime members can listen early and ad-free on Amazon Music. Before you go, tell us about yourself by filling out a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.